Everybody, welcome. We are in episode 15 of Factions of Fate. We're closing in on the end of part 1, but we're still deep within the cavern below the Ogre's Tower. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. We do appreciate that. So after the last week, where you expended pretty much every spell slot you had, and almost all of your hit points.
I feel happy.
How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing?
Not dead yet.
Not dead. No.
Basically dead.
I think 3 of us combined have around 10 hit points right now.
I'm going on record to say that the cauldron thing messing around with is a really bad idea.
We learned so much. That was a great experience. I'd like to go on record to say that we definitely explored what that was and learned a lesson.
I didn't do anything to encourage or discourage that. That means that it was perfect DMing on my part for that.
That left plenty of hints.
Hurt a lot.
I may have made a few hints that it might have been a bad idea that I don't remember.
Yeah.
All right. I think we are off next week. So next week we have some things going on. I'm getting ready to perform at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. So I will be out practicing and running our show the whole weekend. So I'll be pretty burnt out. So if you're going to be there this year, you can find me playing guitar with the Fondazi Fire Circus.
More fire.
Yeah. Zach, you're also going to be out at the festival. Just like Eckankar, you'll be willing to help out by taking patrons anywhere within the festival grounds, as Zach will pull your carriage. Yeah. So
does that include to or from my car?
That costs triple. But I can do it.
Really? You have done it in the past, I believe, right?
I've done it multiple times in the past. The best is end of the day, everybody's drunk and tired. Bring me to their car, give you like a couple $100.
Woo! Nice. So if you have a couple $100,
good to know what the price is for that.
Yeah, you can have Zach lead you out, and then you can harass him about Eckankar or Eckenhart.
It's true.
Or Apenkar. You can call him any of those.
Many names.
I think you get a 10% discount if you actually find Zach out there and you call him Eckankar.
If you call me Eckankar, you get a huge discount.
Nice.
No. I mean, he does channel Eckankar.
Yeah, and he's built like Eckankar.
Yeah,
I've never seen him in real life,
like,
so he's good.
But you don't have a sword, though, right? You have to piece tie it.
No, unfortunately not.
He has a
none of the above.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we have a game to play. So are we all ready to get going here?
Yes.
All right. We've been a little bit squirrely. Mm-hmm. Previously, Eckankar has been tasked by Lord Protector Darathra Shranrel, a known Harper agent, to find evidence to discredit her challenger Duvessa Shane in the upcoming Tribor election. During the party's exploration, they have paired up with the wood elf Zindra. They know now that the real Duvessa Shane has been beheaded, and Zindra mourns her loss in the only way Zindra knows how. They have also discovered a huge living crystal who has warned the group that danger seeps from the east, from the high forest, and confirmed that Chandrel is hiding something beneath the Lord Protector's tower. With the election tomorrow, the party hastily went after the evidence. After following a few leads, the party made their way down the old road to an abandoned guard tower. During their travels, Eckankar has claimed a stone axe known to have been stolen from the Uthgard barbarians. But the axe seems to draw out Eckankar's most base tendencies for battle, and his yearning for the axe grows. Mm-hmm. At the abandoned tower, they met a halfling they had previously seen in the market shilling for Duvessa.
He was so nice.
Yeah, he was. The halfling quickly revealed himself as a sorcerer and sent magnetic elementals at the party.
Well, that part wasn't nice.
Oh, well, yeah. Can't have everything.
Wasn't that part was bad.
During the confrontation, he fled into a sealed portal using a crystal as a key. Meanwhile, Llyr found a collapsed entrance nearby that may have been the cave the real Duvessa claimed to have collapsed in a letter the party had found. Most of the group sped ahead, Jaru temporarily dispelling the seal, but Zindra and Hemo were not able to get to the portal in time. Within, they found a mud lake, and beyond was an earth elemental shrouded in the blue flames of the spell plague. The cataclysmic remnant, that we're calling it, as the elemental was called, summoned a collection of earth elementals to attack the few party members who crossed, leaving the party even more spread out.
That sucked.
Yeah, spread thin like over too much bread.
Yeah.
That's our MO.
3 groups this time?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if we hit 6 groups, I'm pretty much ending the campaign. Meanwhile, Llyr went even deeper to find the halfling feeding fire to some kind of summoning chamber brimming with blue flames.
Nice.
In the end, the cataclysmic remnant, as we're calling it, and the halfling were defeated. Bajaru was down.
Temporarily.
Yeah. After regrouping and tending to their wounds, they went back into the sealed cave to investigate. Here we're starting again. Within, they found notes addressed to Linaril from E, discussing the plot to become Lord Protector and tying these events to the events from 2 years ago with Eckankar. During those events, a traitor among the Triber soldiers had stolen a stone artifact and left most of them dead at the Ilmater shrine. You found a ledger that showed payments to people within Tribor to perform crimes, including the very group the party you guys faced just days before. This may be enough to turn the town against Duvessa, but it won't be easy. Finally, you found a huge lake of pure blue fire that was and had a flower floating in the center. You remember that
for
lake,
a
right?
swim. That was nice.
Yeah, I know that. I know Llyr does. This should have been a good time.
Flower.
Yeah, this should have been a good time to make their exit. But the strange contraption the halfling was attempting to stoke was too tempting to leave.
Yeah, we're going to destroy that thing. Get rid of it.
Not for me.
If he wants it, we destroy it.
Yes, that's good. You decided to destroy it, but upon its destruction, the cataclysmic remnant was reborn.
No.
Yeah.
Congrats.
As you all fled, it emerged and broke the dam that held back the mud.
That was rude. Whoever did that was rude.
You run atop the mud using water walking, but must still fight against the remnant's wrath. Most of you have made it to safety, but Llyr was tossed into the fires below. So that's where we're starting our game right now, and we are still in initiative. This is the Endless Initiative campaign, and tell us below if you've ever had campaigns where you had these initiatives that last hours. Sometimes that happens. So.
Multiple nights. Yeah.
About 4 sessions. Yeah.
This is the third session for this one battle.
It's tense.
Yeah,
We take it 6 seconds at a time.
Yeah. All right. So right now, as the fires have been doused, nobody knows where Llyr is on the far eastern shore, where most of the mud has kind of ebbed away and is flowed down. We are in round 7 of the mudslide.
7.
I know. It's like a lot of times you're like, I don't. But why? A minute is basically eternity. But here in this case, maybe not so. All right. So Eckankar, you are on the far end. What do you want to do? Anything?
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I'll just wait here. I'm not leaving without Llyr.
All right. You are waiting.
Not going to leave a third member to die.
We didn't see the
You
the
son
blue,
of a! How dare you!
Man.
I saw the orange fire and the blue fire both disappear in the last couple rounds. It's just dark over there now, right? So
Right. Zindra goes. Zindra is in the outside of the portal as we see it is being held open by Flander. Flander has the gem holding the door open. Zindra is looking around, pacing back and forth behind Flander. She seems uncomfortable and agitated, and she says to you, "They're taking too long. They're just taking too long. Maybe we should go back in after them." That's what she says to you, Flander.
I'm out there too.
Are you out there too? Yeah.
In fact, I thought it was just me and her. I thought Flander was keeping
Flander's
it open.
inside.
Oh, you're right.
Inside.
Flander is out. She says that to you. They're taking too long.
We need to get to the top of the bridge. I will fly you up there.
We should wait here in case they need us.
To what, die?
Well, we can't just.
You're going to take the one hit for them?
She gets frustrated.
Wow.
Hemo, what are you gonna do? You are sitting on the shoreline, waiting just beside Eckankar as the mudslide is slowly drawn away from you.
Hemo, unable to see the flames from Lyr's fire elemental form anymore, is going to cast dancing lights. He's going to make 4 torch-sized lights within 120 feet. He's going to cast them out as far as he can. It looks like he should be able to fill that hallway area where he was fighting with lights.
Now you'll be able to
get
see
a
down
better
it.
view.
And now you'll be able to see down it because the dam itself has been shattered.
Yeah, you can see mud
and
flowing.
the mud
probably.
is flowing down, so you can actually see right through that area.
See the mud currently flowing.
Correct. All right, Theo, are you going to do anything? You are still flying. You have your
Yeah, I
boots
was double
activated.
moving this whole time. I'm gonna continue my move to catch. Basically, this round I can get back to everyone else. So 10, 20. I'll come up to basically the edge here, and I'll land on the edge, and then I'll turn around, and I think they're still fighting, but the fire's disappeared. But keep on your guard, I guess, and he'll sort of get to a defensive position and get a firebolt, because that's a cantrip that he can have out and ready.
You're not concentrating or anything, right?
That's a good question, because I'd have to have that ready, right?
Well, are you
I am,
concentrating?
because I think I got hemo flying currently.
Yes,
Right,
yeah.
yes, you do.
Somebody's
All right, so I won't do
concentrating on
that.
keeping me in the air.
But I can ready my my fisty punchies. Yeah. So yeah, good call. Thank you.
You're putting up your dukes.
I am. He's just got. You can see his one fist is just the Thunder Gauntlet is just like humming a little bit. That's it.
All right. As you do so, though your lights are out, have reached out, the light is not able to see deep into that secondary chamber. You're only able to see, I think I have a 20-foot range of light from that sphere. Is that right?
Sounds about right.
They are dim 10-foot radiuses. So
Right.
the furthest I could get is probably here.
Right. So what happens is you can see the mud flowing into the dark. Some of it leaking into the holes, and some of it pushing beyond the actual 3 dropped holes and seeping down below far in the distance. So right now, it is now the cataclysmic remnant's turn, and it has vanished. No one knows where it's at right now.
Yikes.
All right, that brings us to Jaru. Jaru, what do you want to do?
Once again, I'm going to offer to fly her up to the top of the bridge.
She's not stubborn.
She just refuses. She has her bow out, and she keeps telling you, they're not going to make it. We have to go back. We have to go back. She's just getting very upset right now and pacing back and forth. Is there anything else you want to do other than make that statement?
Well, I will fly to the top of the
Scout it.
top of the
ridge
edge there. Yeah.
Okay, you fly to the top of the ridge, looking down as Zindra paces back and forth. Her bow in one hand. She has an arrow between her fingers, just kind of resting as she walks back and forth, just waiting to pull and fire at anything that comes through. All right, Llyr, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna have to double move through this muck.
You've got to move
Let's
it.
see. 25.
You move it
to
50,
there.
right? That's
I
nice.
move it 50.
Oh
Very
no.
good.
As you come around the corner, you see that cataclysmic remnant is standing in your way.
It's a-okay by me. I can occupy spaces, but I'll go right up to him.
All right, you run up to him. It looks up at you and says, "A bear was the catalyst. Now you shall be its victims."
You got a monologuing again?
All right, you move up there. Is there
He
anything
loves
else you want to do?
I use my action to double move, so I'm good here.
All right, you run up there. All right, Flander, you're holding the door still?
I'm holding the door. I will ready a ray of frost just in case something comes along and I have to defend.
Are you sure you want to do that? Because you are holding the door right now.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Okay, then I will hold the door.
All right, Eckankar, is there anything else you want to do? You don't see them quite yet.
I will pull out my potion of greater healing and toss it over to Hemo.
All right, Hemo, you have a potion of greater healing. Zindra continues her pacing. Hemo, what are you going to do?
Probably drink that potion of greater healing.
Nice.
Is that a 40?
You're looking a little rough.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the greater healing it is, I think it's 40.
Yeah, it's 44 plus 4.
And your beard's starting to grow in a little bit there. You should definitely trim that up there, Hemo.
All right, Hemo, you got yourself 7 hit points back.
Oof.
Theo, anything
Rough.
else? You see, Hemo looks almost no better than he was before.
I'm just watching him.
Well, you get that +4, so you get 4 more.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
11. Just watching. That's it.
16, I might not die immediately if I get hit. Thank you, Eckankar. We'll keep our eyes peeled.
He's just looking out. I don't think he even responds.
All right, the cataclysmic remnant gets to go. It's going to, let's see if it can recharge again. No, not this round. So it's going to have to do some. It's going to try to push you. So do a contest of strength.
Contest of strength. I don't have great strength as fire. 15.
All right. You are pushed back 5 feet, and it moves forward, and it's going to try to do the same thing again.
It's just trying to shove you right into the fire.
What'd you get?
8.
All right.
Shoot.
This time he pushes you 10 feet.
Ugh.
Boom. You're like, and just shoving. All right, Jaru, what are you gonna do?
Just sitting there waiting.
All right, Llyr, it's your turn. You're getting pushed back. It's just shoving you around.
The cataclysmic remnant has like actual mass, unlike Llyr, right?
Correct.
They're physical. They've got like they're kind of stone elementally.
They're a stone. He's a stone elemental that is awash with these spellfire. So you see this kind of thin, almost like a candle lit, barely glowing light, kind of all around him. It's difficult to see from a distance, but as you get close to him, it kind of comes into play.
So
Llyr,
I'm
what are you
gonna
gonna
just
do?
move right past him because
You're gonna try to force your way through.
You
I
can
don't
move
need to.
through
I'm a
it.
fire form. I can move through enemy spaces and through inches, through spaces as narrow as
He
1
still
inch
gets an
wide.
attack.
In fact,
he
you'll
still
damage
gets an
him by
attack.
moving into his space.
Go
He
for
still
it.
gets an attack of opportunity against you, and he's going to take it.
He should potentially take damage from him too, though.
Nope. He can't.
doesn't
He
take
can't occupy
fire.
somebody else's same space, right?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, and he damages him.
And,
by
and
he's
if I
immune to
do,
fire.
if I enter your
Oh, he's
space,
not.
you're
He's
supposed to take
resistant
fire
to fire.
damage, but I thought you were immune to fire.
No, I'm not immune to
He's
fire.
resistant to
He's
fire.
resistant to it.
Then you will
Right.
take that.
Okay. All right. He's going to hit you, and you're going to take half of bludgeoning damage, which would be only 3 points of bludgeoning damage. You're immune to the fire damage, but you're going to take 6 points of force damage. All right. You want to give me some fire damage? What do you give me? Do I have a save for
all right.
that?
Nope. You just I can put it in the chat. An elemental can move through space narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing. A creature that touches the elemental or hits it with a melee attack. So this reaction attack will also get that. Takes
In
1d10
addition,
fire damage.
You can.
In
enter
addition,
a-
the elemental can enter a hostile creature space and stop there. The first time it enters a creature space on a turn, that creature takes 1d10 fire damage and catches fire.
But you didn't
Until it
stop
uses-
there.
I didn't stop there, but do I have to stop there for that
Yep.
to happen? It
You-
just
you
says
literally-
first time I enter the space.
As
Yeah,
a fire
creature
elemental,
space
I
and stop
can't.
there.
As a fire elemental, you literally can't just like roll like this and hit every creature and take damage.
Yeah,
every
that's a good
round.
point.
You would literally be able to attack 30 creatures.
You'd have to
around.
use it as the.
Well,
He'll get the 1d10 for hitting you, but not the.
But
Right.
that's just a separate sentence. I can enter a creature space and stop there, hard stop, and then
yeah,
it
that's an
says
interesting
the
point.
first time it enters a creature space on that turn, the creature takes 1d10 damage and catches
So why
fire.
couldn't you run through a line of people with pikes that
My
have
understanding is that,
spells,
like,
and just walk
isn't that
through
like
them all and
that's
start
the
them on
thing?
fire?
because
Fire
because he's a
form
CR5 creature. That in order to, if a creature could do that, he would have to be more like a CR9 or 11. I could literally do 1d10 points. He's a 10 by 10 creature moving at 50. I could do about
Yeah, you could
I
start
could do,
on fire. Was it 50 feet? So yeah, 100 people on fire in one round.
right 100 people on fire. I want to run around doing 100 d10 points of damage. I think that it says you can enter a creature's space by stopping there. So if you want to do damage to him, you can stop there, and then basically you would do damage on there. That would be your point. Or you can just pass. You can try to run past. them.
Otherwise, you're sort of squeezing through them.
Yeah. That's just too powerful, and you don't want that because if I have fire elementals attacking you, I would do the same thing. I would have 5
I
of them.
think
just
that's a
literally-
reasonable interpretation as
and
well.
You would all be dead
Yeah.
in a round.
Because to your point, you can make things end up being very powerful if you sort of misread it. So
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
reasonable.
And D&D sometimes, I will say that D&D sometimes has ways when you can stack things and make them too overpowered. And at certain points, I might say, nah. Because it's no fun to just, because I would do the same against you and then you guys would all die and it would be no fun.
Plus, I've put out matches and candles just by grabbing them real quick. So
Yeah.
if you go quick, you don't catch on fire, right?
Right.
But if I held my fingers on it for 6 whole seconds, I'd be
Okay, let's say
hurting.
you do that to a burning car.
Yeah, this
Just
fire.
saying. It's about how long
This
it.
fire
It's about how long
occupies
you
It's a
hold.
little different.
All right.
How long you hold the flame against your.
Flander's holding the door. Eckankar, are you doing anything?
Oh, he does take the 4 points of damage from his
Yeah,
opportunity
I got
attack
it.
on me.
I got it.
Cool.
Yeah. And are you double moving? That was only one move, right?
That was double move in a difficult terrain.
Oh, difficult terrain. I forgot. Okay. No.
Oh, I forgot
just
on
holding.
his turn, by the way. I didn't do this. You do need to make a savings throw. I apologize that I forgot that.
What do I got? Con?
All right. You need to give me a Constitution save of 15.
Made it.
Yes.
Okay, so you're fine. You'll take half of the damage from the bludgeoning, and that's all that will happen.
So quarter of it.
No, he'll take. So you'll take half of 10. So you're going to take 2 points of bludgeoning. Yeah. All right, Zindra's still pacing. Hemo, anything else you're going to do?
I think Hemo's going to probably just return to holding his longbow at the ready. I suppose I can concentrate on dancing lights for up to a minute, so I'm going to keep that spot, that choke point there lit, and
Perfect.
just prepare
Okay,
a
you could
arrow attack.
Probably see that.
Theo, what are you going to do?
I think I'll land, by the way. It's a little discomforting to be floating around in the air trying to draw this bow.
I think Theo, in the distance, you can see the fire elemental coming around
Starting
the
to
corner. Yeah, you
illuminate
can
a little
see
bit.
him. We can see him come around the
And he
corner.
can see our dancing lights probably
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I think because he's a full-fledged fire, you can see him
Sure.
back there. What are you gonna do? You can see him come around. You want
Starting
to
to see
fire?
the flickering.
You probably could hit him with a spell if you wanted to. This might not be Llyr. You never know.
He will call it. I think I see flickering on the wall there. He may be approaching. Keep your guard, everyone. Keep your guard. And he'll just
I
do the
knocked
same.
the arrow.
He's still ready
ready to
with
fire.
his thunder gauntlets.
All right, now it's the cataclysmic remnant's turn, and now is the time you have to do the save again. Only because I didn't do it last time, and I apologize. So go ahead and make your save, Constitution 15.
Oh, natural one.
Okay, you're gonna move 30 feet. Now the question is, I'm gonna roll a d6 because you can go down the stairs or go down the hole. 1, 2, 3 is down the stairs.
Oh
4, 5,
God!
and 6
Please
is down
the
the hole.
stairs.
4, 5, and 6. You get flushed
Jeez.
down
Oh.
the hole again.
Hold on, you said the different holes go to different spots. That's a different one than last time.
Down the hole.
That's
Oh,
true.
I apologize. You
true.
are brought to here. Thanks for letting me know. I apologize. I did not mean to put you in the wrong spot.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, literally the mud slides, and you will take the full damage, which is half for you. Being a fire elemental has saved your butt. You're going to take half.
That's
of
it.
9, which is
No
4
more
points of
under-
fire damage.
No
Oh,
more
and that-
underground adventures for Hemo.
One thing I did forget is even though you have water walk, you still drop 20 feet, so you're still going to take half of the fall damage, which is 6, which is 3 more. All right, now the cataclysmic remnant gets to go.
You take fall damage if you land in water.
You take half of damage.
Oh, okay. And then he's got half from the force as well. I'm guessing.
That makes sense.
So he's a quarter.
It's going to move to there. And do you think I have line of sight on Llyr? I don't. And that's my question. I think I do. I'm going to say yes. I think I can see him.
I would. Yeah.
It looks like
I
it.
would say yeah. You're
Yeah, I
both
would
pretty
say-
big.
Yeah, we're both pretty bulky.
Yeah, it's probably corner to corner.
But
Yeah.
he did take a quarter though. Just checking, right? Damage on the fall.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
You might
So
need to like
took
want
two-
it, like
you took two.
curve the bullet, but
Yeah, for sure.
If you push the gun hard enough to the side, turn it. It works every time.
All right,
yeah,
go back.
100%. That's real life.
All right, let me go back to the right page where I have the elemental and what he can do.
Do you ever see the Mythbusters try to, or definitely break that?
I didn't
Yeah,
even need
I've seen that.
to. But
But it's
Tell
funny
me
they
more.
tried really hard.
No, he's not going to do that. He's going to move.
if it were a sphere and it had any sort of like texture on it, you could potentially get a spin on it to do that sort of thing.
He moves his full move to there because I don't really have an attack that I can really do. I can do an attack where I can drag you closer, but I don't want to do that. All right, Jaru, you're waiting still?
I can't be grappled.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you can't be grappled, yeah.
Is there any other openings in
Being
down there?
non-physical
Maybe
sure
something that's
helps
like an inch wide, just like a little tunnel out. That'd be great.
Could he tunnel out of that tunnel? you know.
So
Like
if we give him,
You'd have to have
Fly.
a burrow.
Yeah, you have to have a bro.
Yeah.
Can't
speed.
fly,
if
but
we
if
give
there's
him a
hole in
hammer
the side-
drill
Yeah,
with a 1-inch bit, he will be able to flow through behind his drill bit.
true. The material would have to move out of the way really quick for him.
I will say, by the way, that the spell which he has is an enhanced lightning lure. Lightning lure does not say it actually grapples you; it just says it force moves you 10 feet. Just he would not be grappled at the end of it. Where normally you'd be the improved lightning lure would pull you and keep you grappled. He could still be pulled 10 feet because he's not immune to force movement. All right, so
How are
that
you
was
doing on hit points? I know you haven't had your bar up for a little while.
yeah. Can
I
you not see
my
him?
bar. It says
I will.
50.
I will.
Oh, okay.
We can
Just-
see
I can't
his bar too. Yeah. All right. So that is Llyr. Llyr, what are you going to do?
I need to get out of here. I'm going to try to move past him. Can I get just up on the ledge with my 50 feet, or do I still have to double move?
isn't
Well,
difficult terrain, is it?
you move at half speed.
This
right?
isn't
Even
difficult
in the
terrain out
water?
here, is it?
What's that? No, you don't have to take half speed during running across the water.
So up to here is.
Oh,
4 feet.
you are gonna on your turn though get attacked by the fire. So that's gonna do that. The fire itself, the lashing fire.
But this
If
would
you
be 30 feet of movement, right?
yeah,
and
if you
then-
start your turn in there, you're gonna get attacked,
40,
but you
50.
don't end your turn in there, which is a good thing because now you don't have to make a savings throw.
I think this is 50 feet of movement for you right here.
Yeah, let me make my attack on you, and it I
Yeah.
believe the fire makes an attack.
Oh, it makes an attack. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's got to have been. There's another. 2.
Nope. I apologize. You make a DC 15 dex save when you are in the pool.
Dodge.
I was about to say
Got
that's
it.
pretty
21.
good.
Nice.
21.
So you're going to take half the damage. You don't take any fire damage, which is good. You'll take half the force damage. Like I said, being a fire elemental has basically saved your life.
Yeah, I can't. It's such a good.
So you're gonna
We
take
had no idea, but you made such a good decision.
you're gonna take 7, but half of 7 is 3. You're gonna take 3 points of force damage. Boom, and you run past him.
Or just
That was a single move,
painfully
though.
delayed the inevitable.
That was a single move, right? And then,
That was a single move.
so,
Yeah.
So now I'm going to. Yeah, I'll double move the extra 25 feet.
how many rounds has it been now? We've had like 2 or 3 more rounds of.
This is
going, right?
this is round 8 or 9 of the fire of the mud. Yeah. So you have like one more round before the mud is sort of pulled all the way.
Settled.
Yep.
Okay.
And
But
then I'll burn
we're
one of
using
my-
we're using high school physics rules here with instant mixing. We're not it's literally exists or then it doesn't exist. For those of you who took high school physics, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. All right,
I'll
so
use
that was
my
Llyr.
bonus action to. I'll use my bonus action to burn my last 3rd level spell slot that I had and heal a bit.
Nice, good job.
You'd be one more 5-foot thing over here.
Ooh, good heal, 16.
Oh wow, it's really good.
Nice.
Wow, that was a great spell.
That was.
A great spell. Flander, you're still holding, right?
I'm still holding.
All right, Eckankar still waiting. Now suddenly the fire. You see the fire literally go. Probably go down the drain.
It's just-
He probably does that thing like he goes.
I guess. I mean, yeah. I'll just get some hit points back. I'll charge up like a Super Saiyan and use Second Wind.
There you go.
All right, Hemo, you are now. You've been slightly healed. You are
Okay.
still flying. Anything you want to do? You see the fire disappear again.
Eckankar, I didn't know your hair was that color.
It just bursts up.
No, I will continue to focus on dancing lights and keep a longbow attack prepared.
All right, Theo. What are you
Same.
gonna
Just
do?
kind of just commentary. Oh, the flickering has gone away. Maybe that was just my eyes playing tricks on me. I don't
Maybe.
know.
All right. On a cataclysmic remnant's turn, I'm having the environment go on that in his turn. It's easy to remember. So now I need you to make me a savings throw. It is a Constitution savings throw of 15.
Oh, 11.
Okay, you are moved 30 feet.
Rolls are bad tonight.
10, 15, 20, 20. I will put you. Tell you what. Roll me a d6, and if you roll a 1, 2, 3, you're in front of him, and 4, 5, and 6, you're behind him.
He can occupy the space.
I can't occupy space if I'm just right on top of him. Then
But he'd have to do that. The rules of D&D are basically that you are placed in a space adjacent to somebody. You can't technically overlap each other unless he initiates that. So I'm going to put him behind him. All right. So that's where you're gonna end up on your turn. All right. It's not your turn yet, so the fire does not attack you, but the cataclysmic remnant can. It's going to strike at you. He's going to make two smackdown attacks. Oh, I rolled a 1 and a 3. Completely whiffed you.
Oh,
That is Jaru still waiting.
Yep.
All right, Llyr, it's your turn. First thing that happens is I'm going to have the environment make that savings throw, that dexterity savings throw.
Oh, 14.
All right, that little mark that you have one of them already. Make that 2. Yeah, as the spell plague, the blue fires are seeping into your very being, your inner core.
So you're going to turn into a super hot. You're going to be a super blue giant.
It could be. All right. So yeah, you kind of feel this kind of like almost like a cooling feeling. You know, you're fire, and it almost feels cooler than you are. It's like the James Dean of fire. He's just cooler than you. All right. So
Technically,
the coolest guy in the world.
I mean,
hey, it's my game. I can do
That's
anything
true.
I want. All right. So but the seeps into you, and you're gonna take
Different kind of fire.
You're going to take the full amount of force damage from this now. That's going to be 11 points of force damage. It is now your turn. What are you going to do? You're going to move past him? Oh, by the way, this is the last round here of the.
Oh, does he take? Because he hit you. Does he take the fire damage?
Oh yeah, no, he didn't land.
Or no, he didn't hit you. Never mind.
Yeah.
Hit me at all.
I'm not going
Yeah, he
to
didn't
force
land
him
any blows.
in his space. Could be because that's
So
just sort of the D&D.
How much
rules.
force was it?
11.
11
It was
points
11?
of force damage. Boom.
That was from the
That was from the flames that are.
the lake.
Yeah, the lake itself gets it. You have to make a save when you're in it, and because the fire is just
The magnetic spirals
Okay.
of fire.
yeah,
Plasma.
cool, huh? Yeah. All right, so Llyr, now is your turn. What are you gonna do? You're fighting an uphill battle, literally.
So it's just 10, and then it's actually 30 feet to get up to there. And then it's going to be...
Fighting this elemental that can just kind of walk through the walls is very difficult.
Well, the terrain doesn't help.
Yeah,
Okay,
and he's
I can only
immune to
get
it.
to
That's
here,
the
right?
hard
And then
part.
my-
That takes you to there.
Yeah,
doubling-
well,
double
He has
hook.
more movement than that.
He's gonna take his
Yeah.
attack of opportunity as you flee. By the way,
that's okay.
I missed you though. Well, maybe not though, because your armor class isn't great. What is your armor class?
13. 13.
All right, so I have a 6 plus 8 is going to be 14. I did actually hit you.
You got more movement than that, though, right?
I can, yeah, with my double move. I will do that.
So you're gonna
see if
take-
he'll
you-
that.
So you're going to take You're going to take 2 points of bludgeoning,
Oh, wait.
no fire, and 7 points of force.
Ooh, nice roll.
Yeah.
2
There you
points of
go.
bludgeoning, no fire, and 7 points of force. All right, fleeing up the hill, and you
And
kind of
he-
see the last of the mud. You're kind of feeling the mud kind of going down all around you.
Is it stopped now?
Alright.
It will stop when it gets to Eckankar's turn. So Flander, what are you gonna do?
Hold on, he did
Hold
fire
on, yeah, I
damage
got,
back,
I
right?
got a double.
Odor.
Yep. He'll take 5 points of fire damage.
Nice.
Okay,
That was a
hitting me.
max
Nice.
damage.
is that
Cool.
half? That's half.
You already
Okay,
have
half.
nice. All right, cool.
And then I will take my double move, so I'll go another 50 here. Or I guess 25.
Yeah, you're just fighting an uphill battle, just running.
But past that point, the mud is stopped.
Yeah, now you see the mud. Now you see
Yeah.
as we hit Eckankar at the beginning of the 10th round, 10 rounds. How many times do spells actually make it 10 rounds? Like never.
I know, right?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear
Mark your
evening
calendars, kids.
screams.
All right.
Oh, my blade stopped.
Did it once? Did it one time we went too long?
Yeah, this fight.
Oh yeah, because of the fight. Yeah. All right, Eckankar, your turn. Are you doing anything?
Nope. Just waiting.
All right. Zindra fails her save and runs back in.
No, jeez.
Uh-oh. Zindra.
And then on the far
I
end,
She
appreciate
has to
it,
see what's
Zindra.
happening. She
Drew
has to
just
know.
shakes his head.
on the far end, you see. On the far end, you see Zindra looks at you and she goes, "No, they're never gonna make it. They're never gonna make it." And she comes running in. She jumps through it. And she's like,
We're all standing there.
Bow in her hand, and she sees you standing
Well,
around.
just in
She's
a
like,
defensive stance, like staring off into the void.
she's like, "This is not a sightseeing mission. Let's get out of here."
Oh, Zindra, I'm glad you're here. We could use your assistance in staring out into the darkness.
Oh, for fuck's sake! She's like, "Why are you not leaving?
I thought we told you to get to safety.
And you're gonna stand here?"
We trust in Llyr.
Stares back
He'll
at her instead of
be
staring at the
back.
void.
She looks at you as you stare at her, like you stare her down, and she stares you back, and finally she just looks away. And she's like, "Motherfucker!"
Beauty before age. Get out of here.
And she runs out. Hemo, what are you gonna do?
Drew's like,
Stay prepared to shoot.
All right, Theo, what are you gonna do?
Same.
All right, cataclysmic remnant gets to go.
I'm done yelling at Zindra for the moment.
For the moment, yeah.
All right, cataclysmic remnant gets to go. All right, it disappears into the stone.
Quick, work some stone.
Oh,
work
not
it.
again.
Work that stone.
Yeah, quick. Bring out the hammer and chisel.
I got
Alright.
masonry tools. That's what I should have been doing this whole time.
All right, it's going to
What's the
emerge
level
here.
of working?
It's going to emerge here, and it can actually. It is considered outside of the stone. We always talk. We
Yeah.
talk about that. The
So
fact that they could
it's
be in
targetable.
stone or outside of the stone.
Yeah.
It is outside the stone, so you can actually target it. All right. I like how he's doing the trails.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
He's trying to figure it out.
Cheers.
That's nice. I mean, it's a good way to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. He is going. He is going to take his full frontal assault on you. Boom, boom. He's going to hit you, and hit you both times. Well, unfortunately, having that not great armor class is not helping you. So you're going to take. I'm just going to roll the damage, and instead of doing it half a half, I'll just do the regular damage, and you'll take it. This is 2 hits.
Ghost of Christmas.
What's that?
Oh, that's fair.
So you're going to take 1 point of bludgeoning. That's half. That's way it goes. And you're going to take 2 points. Whoa.
Those are low rolls.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. We know. Sometimes I do a lot of damage.
We,
It kind of-
yeah, Alan, thank you for rolling low.
And you'll take a whopping 3 points of fire damage.
That's hilarious.
I think we traded evenly right there.
It's so funny. These two giant beings, kind of like, it feels like they're just like slap fighting.
An elemental
Yes.
cat
Little bit.
fight down the hall.
They're both half invincible to each other's.
Yeah. What do you want?
It's 2 points. It's half of 5.
What's that?
2 points.
No.
not three.
What are you talking about?
He did 5 points divided by 2.
Yeah.
Well, but it was 2 attacks. And there was I rolled a
Oh, did I miss
2
one?
and 5.
My bad.
Yeah, we're just doing full damage instead of rolling damage points. All right, Llyr, what are you gonna do?
Okay, I'm going to book it.
All right, he's gonna take his attack of opportunity on you.
See ya.
He's gonna hit you because he hits you almost every time, and he's gonna do 2 points of bludgeoning and 5 points of force.
Good roll.
As you fly
He's
off.
almost 200 feet away.
Flander's waiting. I'm
Hold on.
assuming.
Was that a single move though, right?
Yep.
No, that was the 100 feet.
What?
Yeah.
He measured
Moving
it
around
out.
like that.
Yeah, he has to go up and down and around. All right, Flander's holding the
Yeah.
door. Eckankar, you're waiting. You can see this fire thing is kind of emerging.
Yep.
It's just waving fire. It's like,
Did you take
Now
your
it's
4
pretty-
points for that opportunity attack?
yeah, I took it. Damage.
I see a tiny smolder. I'm like, is that Llyr?
Zindra appears on the other side looking at you, and she goes, "They're just standing there."
Do you wish me to fly you to the top?
She's looking up at you because you're up at the top. She looks up at you. She's like, "You're not helping." She's just getting more.
Helping with what?
Exasperated.
I am
Zindra's
trying
like, no
to
one's
help you.
doing anything.
she's like, how? She's just getting more and more
She's
upset.
so young.
She's getting
just
more
too
upset.
impatient.
All right, that brings us to Hemo and Theo. Hemo, what are you gonna do? Anything?
Stay prepared. Turn to Theo and go. Do we have a way to contact Llyr?
I think you have. Look at
be
the flickering
back
is
by
back. The flickering is back. I think you've contacted him with your lights.
It's ridiculous.
Incredible.
Here's the psychic.
I turn the 4 glowing lights because it's something I can do with dancing lights. I can make them. I can combine the 4 lights into one glowing, vaguely humanoid form of medium size, and I combine it into the humanoid form, and I beckon a flickering light here.
This way.
Like,
I'm just
like a
picturing him
runway guy.
like Top Gun.
Yeah, he's like one of those airline directors.
This way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll help. Good.
Llyr, you see a Burning Man ahead of you, and it's
He's pointing the way.
all right. A glow. Well, he's technically not burning. He's just glowing. You see a glowing dude.
Vaguely.
Glowing with fey magic as
All right.
he beckons you around the corner.
As the last of the mud fills the fire-drawn chamber, this creature emerges out here, and when it does, you see it stop and slowly break apart into stone
What?
and disappear into the rock.
Excellent.
Okay. I'm getting out of here.
All right, you manage.
Jesus, man, get out of here.
You manage to flee out of.
Oh, God.
Are we collectively down to 3% of our hit points? It's okay though. It's okay.
Right.
Everything's fine.
You manage
Nothing to see here.
You manage to flee out of the chamber, finding yourself back outside. I'm assuming everyone's leaving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stick around for a couple rounds.
Yeah, see what happens.
I insist.
I do a nosedive into the mud.
Fleeing outside of the chamber, you emerge into the ogre's tower.
Quick, stand on the bridge or in the tower.
Unless there's something else you want to do, I have the I don't know if there's anything else you want to do in here or not. That's
There
up
you
to
go, Zindra. We made it all out. Every one of us.
As you emerge out, as you run out of the tower here, you're kind of running out of the side over here. She's down there, and she sees you all running out, and she's like, "Oh, it's about time."
Just shaking her head. Kids these days.
It's getting later in the afternoon, getting closer to the dark. You're not going to definitely make it back in time for it'll definitely be late when you get back to town if you want to go that far.
No, I think we were talking about doing rest here, weren't we?
Do we want to rest? We probably need to rest here and then book it home.
If we run into an angry squirrel, I'm dead.
Yes.
This is a defensible position too. It is literally a tower.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I did bash the door in.
Yeah, the door has been no more. It's been smashed in.
Yeah, it's true, but it's still more defensible than sitting out in the woods or trying to go back right now on our own.
Yeah.
Also, some of us don't need the full 8 hours either. So,
And I can still do the hut inside there.
Yeah, that's your choice.
you have that spell.
Do you have the spell? Oh, it's a
Ritual.
spell, right?
It's ritual.
I chose a lot of ritual spells.
I have one.
You could use the hut
Clearly.
as a door.
Yeah, the hut's the door. We don't sit in the hut. The hut's the door.
The hut could simply be a door for the larger building.
It's a big round blob, right? We'll just call that hut Jabba. Give me a
It
Jabba.
just takes 10 minutes to open or close the door is all. Well, to close the door.
Just make sure you go outside because nobody wants to leave a Banta poodoo inside here. All right. So the rest of you, at the end, you are sitting there. You remember that you had found a couple of notes. You found the journal. You had found the candle. You had found I can't remember what else you found in there. The masks, two masks.
And I put in my safedom when it was getting a little
so you
acidity in there.
You have some things. I think you identified a few magic items. You haven't. Is there anything else you want to do as you sit up here night before I roll to see if you have a random encounter and TPK you at 1 hit point?
There's a Tarask.
Well, I'm actually thinking of the horde of skunks that are going to come through.
Angry squirrels for Mike's idea.
Aggressive skulls.
Aggressive squirrels.
Do we have anything else?
Can they be ill-tempered? All right.
As we're all putting down our gear for the night, can Hemo take a look at that ledger that we picked up of people paid to do crimes in the city?
Sure. Give me an investigation roll.
He's wondering if any of his students have ever been paid to do hooliganery around the city.
Nice. Go ahead and give me a roll.
A history roll?
No, an investigation roll.
Investigation.
You're basically reading through, and you're the idea is that you're not gonna read every page, every word. You're flipping through it, and then you're investigating it, kind of speed reading it through to. And how much do you get to know? All right,
But it's not a Robert.
I got a 14.
Novel.
what's that?
It's not a Robert Jordan. Novel.
How do you know this?
Because if it was,
Remember 7 where he wrote that super tiny, almost illegible text that was run-on sentences, and he wrote everywhere. And this could be that. You never know. This is why we roll an investigation roll. All right.
What do I see with a 14?
I feel very much I'm an antagonistic DM today. All right, you make a roll. All right. As you leaf through, you're kind of reading through it page by page. You don't see any of your students, thankfully, within the ledger. You see there are several people from town. You basically don't see anybody that you know personally from town that has been paid to enact violences of any sort. But you do recognize some vague names that you've seen. Remember that most of the town exists. Within Tribor exists in the outskirts of town. The majority of the population exists in farms that are outside. The small part of town is actually fairly small. And also there are people that come in that were coming in and out of town. Right.
It's a trading town.
Right. So and again, one of the things you do notice, and I'll remind you, is that it looks like that group of people that had attacked the wizard Hyruth, you're guessing because it says the wizard, were also in this ledger specifically. However, now that you've investigated, you see as you page through a paper falls out from within the ledger. Within the ledger,
I guess I'll open it up.
You see there is a note. It seems to be from someone named Jules, and it outlines how to craft a strange circular device that holds a living crystal. It seems to be instructions on how to craft an item.
I hand it to Theo. I say, Theo, I found this in the ledger. Something having to do with the living crystals.
Yes, let me take a look at that.
Give me an
Flander, we have that key you were holding the door with. Thank you. For that door was a nightmare. Thank you for keeping it open for us.
20.
I did what I could.
You think that this device that they were describing was the very one that you had found within the Barrow Woods?
Oh, the actual platform with the...
Yeah, you remember that device you found within the
me?
light? Yeah, the find within the light?
Yeah.
This seems to be a note from someone named Jules. Now, if you give me a history roll, I might be able to give you more information.
Did they run the jewels?
They certainly wrote the jewels.
Excuse me. All right, history roll. What did you get?
24 on my history roll.
You will, with recalling that knowledge, you do know that from the note that the original Duvessa Shane had found within her chamber, you noted that she had said that she was getting information from someone named Jules within Silvery Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. This appears to
So
be.
this is the note.
This appears to be a way how to craft the item itself.
Well, I think Duvessa did succeed in crafting the item that eventually saved my life. That is fascinating. So this was a letter that was given to Duvessa. He says out loud and kind of looks over at dang it, I lost her name, Zindra. Well, but she succeeded. Good job, Jules. Good job, Duvessa.
She sits down and she looks at the note and she says she didn't tell me all the things that she was doing. I know that she was doing something with trying to find a cure for the Burrowwoods. She said there was a plague, and from what we saw, it looks like we did it. We cleaned it out for her.
Yep.
That's the least we could have done for her. She kind of looks at the note and she kind of sits down. And for the rest of the evening, she kind of takes the note and she stares at it. Even though it has nothing directly tied to Duvessa, she sort of just stares at it and quietly sits in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of her mission. That is exactly what Theo was thinking when he finished reading it. He's like, yeah, this would click.
All right.
Her.
Anything else you're going to do tonight?
I think before we lay down, Ek is going to come up to Hemo. Hemo, can we talk outside for a second?
Sure, but we're standing on the bridge where those elementals can't glide through. I just don't feel safe on unworked mud for a second. I'm sure it'll pass.
Yes, no, we just need to be outside the door.
All right, the two of you go outside onto the bridge. Please give me a Constitution. No, I'm teasing.
No.
As the bridge collapses beneath. No.
Bridge collapses. We both die. Oh no.
It does that. You know that. You ever see the images of the Golden Gate Bridge when it was twisting?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
You're on stable ground, Hemo. You step onto the stone. You feel the earth beneath your feet. It feels strong. I'll let you guys have a conversation.
Hemo, I have something I must ask of you, and it's something that I can't ask of Flander or any of the others. Tomorrow we're going to go and possibly fight this Duvessa, and I would ask if the worst should happen, you would check in and see that Jorlins is okay. In my stead.
You should tell her yourself. We will be back in town.
No.
Certainly we should.
If the worst should happen in battle and I fall, I would just ask that you make sure she's okay in the years to come. You've set up your life here, and I can't ask Flander this. It would be a crime to ask him to stay in one place, and if they will it, and they want it, and if they want it, I would hope you would train my child to defend themselves and everyone else. I couldn't think of a better teacher.
Well, I am honored, Eckankar. I can promise you that they will be looked after, but I cannot promise you that your children will become great swordsmen at my school, unless that is something they truly find within themselves.
Exactly. If it's something that they want and they want to become an adventurer, I know you'll be there to help them.
Well, I hope we all survive tomorrow, and I hope you bring them by the school yourself. And I hope I still own the building by the end of all of this.
What? What do you mean by that?
Depending on what happens tomorrow, it might not even be an issue. The building has... There is a long-saddled bank that seems to wish to own the building. It is of no importance. We have bigger things to do tomorrow.
Okay. All right. It's just like... You might not have as good business acumen as I thought. I thought this guy had his life ready.
Hemo is internally like this is a human. They get very emotional. Sometimes don't interject with your business. It comes off as dismissive. Hemo is like, oh, it's nothing. Just a little problem I should work out.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You gather within the confines of the broken down old tower just south of the old road. the night passes. You a few times you wake up in the middle of the night hearing howls from wolves. You're a little bit on edge. By the time most of the elves get themselves rested up, you see that the night, it's deep into the night, and you kind of keep an eye on that open door. That open door kind of keeps your eye. You kind of always looking, something coming through there. But as the sun rises on the new day, there's a sense of rejuvenation amongst you.
Yeah.
After one of the longest days in any of your lives, you've managed to make it through. The elves have done their meditations, and we only have one human, and the Verbogue rise after a night's rest, and you reclaim the powers.
We
that
do
you
have
had
two
already.
half-breeds.
Whoa!
Wow. We're going there, huh?
Wow, Drew, Jesus.
Wow. Okay.
Gonna have to work on that. We're gonna unpack that later.
We have one certainly very crass elf.
All right.
He's not from around here.
He does not live in mixed settlements. Has
Yeah,
not
you can't
for very
just say
long.
Rude.
All right. Tell me what you guys want to do. You woke. You had some breakfast. You collected yourselves, and you are about to embark on some journey. I'm guessing because you're not going to probably live your life here. Although that carpet is really comfy.
It's pretty nice.
Well,
the edges are
we can be
probably
on the road,
singed.
right?
If you want to
Talking?
leave now,
I
you
think
can.
I got blood
Yeah.
on it overnight.
So while we're on the
Yeah.
road,
You should leave.
It's got massive cigarette burns from Llyr sitting on it.
Yeah.
One corner is just completely just scorched.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Hey, a new word for going scorched earth, huh?
I
Going
think
Llyr.
I do think before he went to bed, that conversation he had with Hemo, Ek would have enacted Ilmater's tears to get the potion of greater healing going.
Perfect.
I'm gonna
Okay.
redo my armor infusion right now. That one of the infusions I have is that it's resistant to cold this whole time, and I'm gonna change it to fire because there's been a lot of fire going down.
Sounds good.
And I
That's
can
true.
do that after a long rest. So basically what happens is he's infusing it, but he loses the previous infusion on it. So no more cold. Now it's fire.
All right. So now that we're all rested up and ready to go, you have an infusion that you're going to do. You got 5 back, so you're fully charged up, right?
Yeah. So both my repulsion shield got charged all the way back up with my D4, and
Nice.
then the D6 on the strength magical armor. I only got 5 out of my 6, but that's not bad.
All right. But unfortunately, we have a fire elemental that has two charges against him for being within the spell fire.
Maybe he'll be
So-
a fiery fire elemental.
Right. Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen here? Well, I know exactly because it's written right here.
Uh-oh.
All right. So what
Can
happens?
we assist him at all?
No,
this morning?
no, you cannot. No, you cannot. What I need you to do is give me a DC. Ooh, got 2 of them. Give me a DC 20 Constitution saving throw.
And I'm sorry, you are literally 5 feet out of my aura.
He doesn't get
Oh,
that.
no.
You don't get that for long range stuff.
Yep.
that's not
Yeah.
anything.
Yep.
Nope. 16.
Okay, what I need you to do is roll me a D4.
D4.
You want to? You higher the better. The higher the better. I'll tell you that much.
Hey,
4.
Yes, that was good. That was good. Okay. All right.
sorry.
he's just rolling extra stuff.
I'm trying to-
Are you
I'm trying to
attacking the fire
close-
elemental?
I have all of these the like drop down menus for spells
Yeah.
just to see what. And then
You're
I'm
trying to
like
close them?
sorry
Okay, that's
about
fine.
that.
No problem. So Llyr, as you as you awake, you feel this kind of flashes of warmth and coolness throughout your entire being, even as a fire elemental. It's
And
flaring
this is
up
new to me,
inside.
so I'm kind of like wary.
Yeah, you're like boom, 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 boom. You feel a little disoriented as you wake. You look around. You kind of have this, even as a fire elemental, you sort of have this pounding sensation throughout your body, almost like someone is hitting you with a hammer. Boom, boom. You're kind of feeling this agitation throughout your body. What's going to happen? You don't know. But right now, you
Eckankar,
feel,
stop hitting him with that hammer.
something has happened. You feel disoriented. Now I want you to roll me a d6.
6.
Yeah.
1.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
He didn't say which one was good or bad on this one. He just said the 44 was high was good. We
This
don't
one,
know.
this one, it kind of is character dependent.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, you're picking which stat.
Okay. So you are feeling it. You feel this urge. One thing you're going to know is that right now, until further notice, your strength has been permanently drawn, slicked away. It has been drawn away from you. You lose 2 points of strength permanently.
Oof.
Oh, jeez.
Ugh.
Okay. That
That's
puts
not too bad for
That
you.
puts me at a natural 6 strength.
Yeah, your strength is now
my.
6. You permanently lose two strength.
And this is affecting his natural form, not the fire elemental.
Yeah,
form?
when you take on the fire elemental form, you try to take on the stats of the elemental that you're in. But he's.
That's what I'm saying. This is affecting his true form,
His
not
true
this
form.
fire, not the
Correct,
fire
right.
elemental. That is
Yeah.
interesting.
He is one scrawny 7 foot tall.
Oh yeah, I'm super lanky. I'm
It looks like
he's
he's
like-
made of
like
leaves.
Slender Man.
But he doesn't need to be
kinda.
big. He just turns into a big creature if he
Yeah.
needs it.
He's like one
Right.
of those white basketball players from the 70s. You know, they're like, all right, like the center.
It's okay. Nature is my strength. I don't need my own.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
that's
glad you did not roll wisdom. I would have.
Yeah, me too.
felt
Jesus.
bad. All right, you are infected. You are now something that they call a spell scarred. The effects of the spell scarred beyond this effect are going to come out in the next couple days.
Oh God.
All right,
Mhm.
all right.
So I still want to keep my counter of 2 Arc of Flame, or do I just say
No,
I'm spell-scarred?
you're done. It made the DC to save higher every time.
Hmm.
So it could have been really
Gotcha.
bad.
Ooh.
All right, but you didn't make it
already
anyway.
pretty
All right, so now you guys are gonna head off on the road, right? I take it you're no longer gonna be a fire elemental after the rest and you
After 2 hours of travel, so it depends
Yeah.
on how long we're going.
Well, no,
So I
because you,
did cast.
you did a bunch of investigation before you went to sleep. You had the conversation. You did this. You woke up in the morning after 8 hours of rest and did all your breakfast.
If you say
stuff.
it's been 10 hours, yeah, I'll drop
Yeah.
it back down.
Yeah, it'll be done. All right. So after your 10 hours, you revert back. You are heading off onto.
Llyr, what happened to you in there? You look slimmer?
It must be those good berries. Maybe I got a bad batch.
You had bad berries.
Mine
Bad
was
berries.
delicious.
I still have one.
I did
Is it
cast
good?
Gentle Repose on the gnome or halfling. Or
Halfling.
Yeah, we
halfling.
gotta say we
Um,
have to have somebody cast Speak with Dead and get some answers out of this.
Yeah.
weed
So
man.
Eckankar will wrap the body. And again, God,
You can stuff it in the bag
carry
of
it?
holding. Bag of holding.
bag of holding. Yeah, there's
I don't
enough
think it's
body
the-
parts in there.
Listen, this is a political contest right now. I don't think bringing a body of a known associate of one of the political candidates is going to be a good way to put our best foot forward.
No, let's at least hide them in the bag.
Yes.
Yes, this has been a body bag of holding the way we've been using it lately.
honestly.
I would frankly
I-
rather leave him here.
I think he might have information if someone here can cast Speak with Dead, he might be able to give information about the fake Duvessa.
You mean as evidence later?
Yes.
Do you think he would tell the truth?
They have to.
Do they have to answer questions though?
If I remember right, they have to answer the question, but they can be a little like shisty about it.
Hey, what has he got to lose at this point?
They just can't lie. But you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell the truth without saying anything.
Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy.
Oh, all right, so it could lie to you,
It could
and
lie.
it would lie to you.
Mhm.
Depends
course
on
you
who
could
we take it to do this thing and answer the question, ask the questions.
Yeah.
I just want to put it out there. That's a little bit of metagaming, but I'll just figure out.
Yeah, we would know how the spell works generally, so.
Yeah. No, then we would, and I guess it would depend on who cast the spell as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, true. I mean, your characters all have a player's handbook on their sheet, right? Okay.
We
Okay.
have a face of disguise. You can try it out.
You could do that too.
Well, let's say we don't successfully speak with the spirit of the halfling. What's our best piece of evidence? Is it this ledger here that proves that somebody was manufacturing a crime wave from nothing?
That is pretty damning evidence. In fact, that's
damning evidence.
But all of these are.
They were stealing from the city. They were stealing from the folks who are voting right now, or today.
Yes.
And they were specifically guided to mess with the Lord Protector in charge now. They weren't just guided to create wanton mayhem.
Right. By this halfling, we believe, right? Because we found this book in his possession, and he is a known associate of the fake Devesta Shane.
Yes, unfortunately, she only signed her letters with a single initial, E.
Is he a known associate? We know
he was
that
stumping for her in town.
Yes, we know he wanted her to be in charge, but have we ever seen them collaborate or talk with each other?
No.
Well, in public, he was posing as a member of the audience. He wasn't showing himself to be politically connected. He was just pretending to be one of our neighbors.
But how long has he lived
Wasn't he
here?
up on a soapbox and spouting propaganda for Devesta Shane?
Yes.
He was, yep. And neither Eckankar nor Hemo have seen this halfling as living anywhere near or around town. Though, because of the way Tribor is, the amount of people in and out of town varies quite a bit. So it's not.
But he was still.
Does his tower have a
Still-
deed, and is he on the deed?
Yeah. No.
No.
All right. Are you guys gonna head back?
Yeah,
town?
we need to head back. But
We
do
should
we
get
want to bring
back
this guy
as-
with or not?
Quickly
Yeah.
as possible. I believe we should
Don't
take
remember.
him.
I guess we'll put
I
him
think
in the
we
bag
do
then.
take the body.
If nothing else, if we can't prove fake Duvessa's identity to the city, at the very least we could prove to fake Duvessa that we are on to her.
Yeah. This could be like the nuclear option, essentially.
All right. The body goes into the bag.
Do you have a bag of holding too?
What happened to that body bag of holding we had?
Or is it just
With all
mine?
the-
Hemo
I thought
had,
Hemo had it.
I thought Hemo had it.
Because I have one.
Yeah. As you stuff the body in there, the same body that
You don't have one?
that Duvessa.
No?
So it's my bag holding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
The
thought-
same body that Duvessa
Right.
was placed in. You see that Zindra looks over and she's like, "How many bodies do you have in there?"
I usually
wanna
just keep
know.
one at a time, at most.
She looks at you with discomfort. Okay. All right.
Grabs him by
He's-
the
he's
This
being-
is only half.
He's being pretty awkward about it. He's like, what else do we do?
All right. You begin to walk back toward town. It's going to take you several hours to get back. Well, as you do so, you kind of wander through the path that was in shambles before, through the archway that you saw the 300 miles to.
Don't fall down that hole there.
Yeah, and you merge
Watch
out.
out for spider holes.
You finally emerge out into the area that you know to be the long road. As you're walking up to the long road, you see that Zindra Eckankar. Zindra walks up to you as you're walking, and she has the note still in her hand, as if she was thinking about something all night. She walks up to you and she says, "Eckankar, so what's it like being in the 12? I mean, being important."
I hardly think of it as being important. What I take from it is I'm able to help people. Helping people is all I've ever wanted to do. It's my greatest desire. It feels quite good.
Yeah, I try to help people when I can. I sometimes make a mess of it.
Really?
You know, I tried to join the militia, but it didn't really stick. You know, Tarth Black Warden, and you'll know him as he's the leader of the 12.
Yes.
You go.
Yes, I work with him.
She looks down and she kind of says, she looks at you and square in the face, kind of almost in disdain, and she goes, "He's awful." And then she kind of looks down and she says, "I mean, on my first day of training, I guess I could have been better, but I don't know. Maybe all I'm good for is wandering these hillsides. Maybe I'm destined just to be alone, I guess."
I think if we're walking,
Yeah.
I will stop
Yeah.
and put a hand on her shoulder and be like, "Zindra, I don't know what he told you, but you're right. You've tried to help me and help us. You tried to help Duvessa, and maybe things went wrong. And I know how that is, but you have shown true valor, and I commend you. I think you are a protector. And I think you should believe in yourself a little bit more."
Just, I don't know. Sometimes I just get so confused. There's these things I'm just not good at. But Duvessa didn't care about that. She didn't care that I sometimes just do the wrong thing. I mix things up. When I read things, when I hear things, it's just not clear. I think I'm broken. Even my sister threw me away. Duvessa was the only one who would try to understand. I don't know. I just miss her so much.
It sounds... My friend Talos sounds very similar to how you felt about Duvessa. He gave me such courage and gave me such hope that I could be better than I am, and he left me in a different way than Duvessa left you. And it is very confusing.
She says,
I'm not sure I'm the right person to help you with this, but maybe we can work through it together.
She says, Talos, the one at the shrine.
Yes. He was my greatest friend and a brother to me.
She gestures over to Theo, not for him, but perhaps the thing he's carrying, and she says, that note. It said something about the Ilmater shrine and obtaining the fragment. The fragment that you were guarding?
Yes, that seems to be correct. These things seem to be intertwined.
She says, what was that fragment? What was the thing that you were guarding?
I can't say I know exactly what it was. I just knew that it was important to the city of Tribor and the surrounding regions. They kept everything quite under wraps, as it were. I wasn't important enough to know exactly its uses, rather than it was just an important relic.
You'll know that relic itself, they called it the Ilmater's tear, and you know that the legend has it that it fell from the sky, and it looks like almost like a common stone, like a stone that was broken off of something. That's what it looks.
Yeah, I know it was a stone. I don't know what it does.
You don't know anything more than that, right? She says maybe when this is all over, maybe I'll try the militia again. I don't know. All I know is that wandering these hills, and after being with Duvessa and being out in the adventures with you all, I don't know. Just going back and just guiding people around the hills just seems meaningless. You see her kind of rubbing her arm, as she has a bracelet on her, she sees her kind of hand kind of grabbing it and rubbing on it.
Mm-hmm. Sindra, if that is what you want, of course, I would do everything in my ability as a member of the 12 to help you. But I think you do more good than you know.
Drew walks by. Goddamn moody wood elves. Just join the Harpers and be done with it. You do not have the patience to be in a town militia. Look at the Harpers. They are more aligned with your urges.
Theo walks by too, and he goes, "Well, you're still not going to be able to do anything about that face, though."
She kind of smirks at you for a second. Then she looks over at Jaru. It kind of gives you a little bit of a scowl, and then she looks at Eckankar. She goes, "I don't know which one of you I dislike the most." She kind of walks forward. Eckankar, I'm going to give you inspiration.
Nice.
Nice.
I think Ek puts his head down. He's like, I thought we were making progress. I thought she liked me.
All right.
You did do well, though. He looks back.
Thank you.
No. He looks back at. He doesn't look at you and say that. He looks at Zindra and says that.
Yeah. Well, you're saying it to her back, but she kind of walks ahead like maybe she was thinking she was making progress, and then Jaru comes in there and derails her plans. just like
The Harpers is a pretty good idea, though, for two.
It is actually.
Yeah.
I it's like
Either
everyone's
way.
against me.
Shut up. Pat him back.
Just start crying.
Well, she's got Ilmater's tears. They're gonna make a potion. All
You
right.
should at the very least find an adventuring party that isn't us. She might do well with some saner party members.
Maybe the military will help her. Give her some work, give her some structure.
All right. You continue the long walk down the long road. You walk for about another 20 minutes heading north toward town. When you see ahead of you, as you round a bend on the road, your eyes catch sight of two weary figures trudging along the dusty path. One is a stout man with a weather-beaten face, his brow furrowed in pain. He's walking toward town. You gotta see his back as he's looking over at the other one. His clothes, once sturdy wool, are torn and stained with dirt and blood. A bandage wrapped tightly around his forearm hints at a recent injury. The fabric now darkened with dried blood. The leather boots are scuffed and worn, their laces frayed from long miles on the road. Beside him walks a woman of slender build, her long hair concealed beneath a hooded cloak that hangs loosely around her shoulders. You kind of seen it leaking out. Her face is pale, drawn with exhaustion, yet her eyes gleam with a fierce determination as she stares at the man. A threadbare dress peeks out from beneath her cloak, its faded fabric patched in places where it has been mended time and time again. She carries a small bundle wrapped in rough cloth, cradled protectively against her chest. You see them ahead of you, maybe about 100 yards as you're walking up. They seem to be tired and worn.
They're walking slowly towards town also.
Yeah, they look like they're fatigued, and you're you kind of turn around the bend and you see them walking ahead of you. They don't seem to notice you right yet.
We're pretty loud. They'll notice us soon.
Yeah, Ek would rush up if he sees these people in dire straits.
All right.
Hail, weary travelers!
It's a trap.
As you run forward, Hemo calling back. The two stop and look behind them. Their faces, they kind of turn, their necks and shoulders moving at the same time. Their heads almost too tired to actually move their necks. They turn around. You see the woman holding the bundle in her hand. The man standing there. They look at you. They say nothing at first. They just kind of tilt their heads. Theo, why don't you give me a history roll? Tell me what
These
you
people are that old?
Ooh, I rolled a 9.
Yeah, you just don't know anything about
That's a nat
nothing.
1.
You know you get old when people start rolling history rolls instead of insight to figure out what you want.
Yeah, back in my day. All right,
Hey, history could have been yesterday.
that's
Did you see
right.
these guys yesterday?
So you wander up, and the man looks back, and he watches as first you see that Eckankar has approached. Eckankar, you get within however close you want to be before you start talking to him.
No, I mean, I'll run up on them and be like, excuse me, are you all right?
The man with dried breath, as if he probably hasn't drank enough water in a while. He kind of trying to smacks his lips a little bit to try to gather enough energy to speak. He says, try to get back to Tribor. It's been a long journey.
I'll pull my water skin and hand it to him.
He drinks without even investigating it, as if maybe the symbol on, whether the symbol on your shield or the emblem of Tribor on you, or whatever the case, he immediately trusts you, and he takes the water and immediately gives it to the woman first. The woman drinks, and then she rolls over her shoulder, opening up the bundle. You see a tiny infant within the bundle, and you see her dabbing water on her finger and giving it to the child. And the man looks over and says, "Go ahead,
Yeah.
good. What do you want to do?"
I just after I want to do like a medicine check.
Yeah, give me a
try and
medicine
help these
roll.
people if I can.
Go for it. What'd you get?
14.
You think that these people are exhausted? They may have, in D&D terms, levels of exhaustion with them. They are dehydrated. They are sickly. You don't think that you'd be able to cast a healing spell necessarily to help them. The wounds that are on their arms are several days old. They're probably fine as far as their hit points are concerned, if you want to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that they have he has the injuries that they have are fairly new, and you see some scars and stuff. But really, what they need is food and rest and water, and just to reclaim their health again.
Yeah, I'll gesture. Sit down, and I'll take out any kind of rations I have, and I'm gonna give it to them.
All right. They sit down and they take a moment. They exchange the water bottles and the water flask back and forth a few times, almost oblivious that you're even there. For just a moment, and giving the baby water, and the baby they had to almost wake it up. It was so tired and just sitting there, wake up the baby, and they feed it. The baby kind of grumbles a little bit, but immediately drinks down the water. They kind of sit up and gives as much water as they can.
Where are you coming from? How have you come to be in this position?
He looks up and he says, I'm Norville Wheat Whistle. This is my wife, Charlie. And the woman looks up and kind of gives you a brief glance, as if her eyes to say thank you, but her attention's still on her child more than you.
Yeah.
And he says, we were on a well-guarded caravan traveling along the high road, as we've done many times before. He begins, his gaze distant as if recalling a fateful day, looking down the road from where you came.
Were you attacked? Is that wound on your arm from a blade?
Yes. We were bound for Waterdeep. We thought we were prepared for anything. His eyes flicker with a mix of sorrow and anger. It was in the narrow pass on the old haunted bridge. Goblins first, swarming down from hidden crevices above, their sharp blades slashing through our defenses before we could react. They were fast, vicious.
Gauntlets.
Yes, they seem to know every nook and cranny of that bridge. He takes a gulp of the water you provide, trying to reclaim a little bit more of his breath and his voice. The man's hand instinctively moves.
Careful! Don't drink too much at once.
The man's hand instinctively moves to touch the bandage around his arm, evidence of a wound inflicted during the chaos. Then came the bugbears, hulking beasts with ferocity that shook us to the core. They crashed into our ranks, wielding clubs and axes with brutal strength. Our fighters held their ground, but the sheer force of their assault pushed us back. scattering us. His voice grows quieter, haunted by the memory. And finally, the ogres, towering behemoths with thick hides and clubs that could splinter stone. They appeared like giants amid the chaos, bellowing orders to the smaller creatures as they tore through our defenses. Their presence alone was enough to break our morale. You have to understand, we fought valiantly. He continues, his gaze hardening with resolve, reaching out to try to grab your.
Ogres are extremely dangerous. That you survived was quite the feat.
He nods and he says,
Were these ogres the same ones we met?
They tried to sell you potions.
He looks at you.
No, these ones were attacking, weren't they?
He looks at you very confused, Llyr, when you say that. And he says, they just came down and they plundered our wagons, seized our goods and provisions with this ruthless efficiency. Something was driving them.
That does not sound like our.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like our ogres.
Those ogres must be aligned with the new king.
Yeah.
Many of us fell in battle, while others were taken captive, and we just fled into the wilderness to escape the carnage. He looks at you, almost ashamed that he had fled. He pauses, his breath ragged from the effort in speaking.
Eck looks at him. You did nothing wrong in protecting your family.
Yeah, survival is not a shameful act.
Those goblins, their eyes full of hate, did all they could to stop me. I felled 3 of them and raced into the marsh. What became of the others, I cannot say. Many were captive. You kind of see him kind of almost begin to cry, as if he didn't have enough energy in his body to actually cry before. But now he and his wife lean together against, cradling the child between them, letting the tears fall as they finally feel, for the first time in days, maybe a week, who knows, that they are finally safe. All right.
As I get closer
Yeah.
to these guys, do they look familiar at all?
You rolled a history roll. You don't know anything about them.
Oh, fair. I was just thinking that was
Yeah,
because I was like 200 yards away or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'll give you another
Dude,
roll since you did walk up on them. Go ahead, give me another roll.
Do they recognize me? Like they say they're from Triborn, or like they're trying to get there.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. As you walk up to them, as you get near them and you look down, you do recognize these people. You recognize these two from a caravan that you rode into Tribor from Yartar just a week before.
But we did arrive.
Yeah. And they had left Tribor to go toward Waterdeep.
Oh,
They continued on.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And though you don't know these people, you haven't talked to them per se, they did, in fact, were on that caravan, and you recognize them just from seeing them on the caravan. You were on 8 days on the caravan from Yartar to Triborn, and you know that these people were on there. Maybe you recognize the baby. Maybe that kind of caught your eye. You know, not a lot of people travel with a small infant.
That's fair. That would click.
Or the whining annoyed you.
Yeah.
The crying.
Like, oh yeah, those ones. It's hello. I remember you from the caravan. It's too bad to hear that it was sounds like it was destroyed.
Yes.
So
it was.
It sounds like nobody would have made it to Waterdeep then. There's one wagon that I rode on, yeah, there was a Wendra. I remember she was
Yes,
she was my friend for the trip. But do you know what happened to her?
Wendra the poet. We all know her. She's such a good young woman. I saw her specifically. There was an ogre, had her over her shoulder, dragging her away, taking her down the road into the marshes. She was screaming and crying.
This is not good news.
Her father was killed. I saw him fall.
Do you remember any of them mentioning the name King King Yarg.
Yes, Yarg. They had said it. They said his name several times.
I think we have a mission. If you guys would assist us, I think we have work to do after today's vote.
Yes, of course.
Do you know when?
We can escort you back to Tribor, but we need to move quickly. Are you able to move?
We still have enough life in us. We did not travel these 4 days on endless feet that fall just outside the road of Trown.
Llyr will walk to the tree line and he'll use Druidcraft to kind of encourage a couple of walking sticks to grow. He'll break them off.
Nice.
He'll make some vines to make a sling for the baby, so the baby's easier to carry. Gets them set to go.
Awesome.
Perhaps a good berry.
That was awesome. Llyr, I'm going to give you inspiration for that. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a
The
cool one.
forest provides.
All right. You take about 10 minutes out of your travels to kind of help them get the baby secure and to give them walking sticks. It helps give them more food, let them drink, let them rest a little bit. They clearly, and when you saw them walking, they were basically lumbering like zombies. They're just like.
I thought they might be, actually. Yeah. I was ready to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always a possibility out here.
Or
Yeah.
whites or something.
We fought a zombie before, so yeah.
Yeah. Norville, Charlie again, his wife says very little. She clearly could speak because she is speaking softly to the baby. And Norville says, "That's my son, Brandolph. I didn't think he was gonna make it."
Safe now.
All right, the rest of you travel throughout the next few hours. They say very little on the road. They're exhausted. They're trying their hardest to keep up and move fast for you to get through.
Oh, don't worry. Llyr can't move very fast.
Athletics at like -2.
It's not good, guys. I turned into big, strong creatures for this reason.
That's right. He has the power to transform for a reason. All right, the group of you travel throughout the time, and you finally find yourself emerging on the southern outskirts of Tribor. Let me bring up information for you.
It's on fire.
No, it's not. Although,
White dragon.
all right, it's
It's like Dracolich now.
Dracolich. Yeah. All right,
Vein?
it's a choco lich.
my-
It's actually a lich made of chocolate.
Yes, it does cold damage instead of fire.
Yeah, it does dairy damage.
Oh,
For you, do you take
But I'm
double damage?
lactose intolerant.
Yeah, you take double damage if you're lactose intolerant. All right, here we go. As you
It's
enter-
just then the long
That's
rest happens, and then we all have to make con saves.
yeah. All right. As you enter Tribor, as the long road emerges with Tribor itself, you are greeted by 3 Tribor soldiers standing beside a painted sign that reads "Happy St. Oswin's Day." The soldiers seem to be fiddling with the sign to try to get it as maybe it came down in the wind, and they are sort of reattaching it. They at first don't notice you until they see you kind of coming up, and one of them turns around and says, "Eckankar, you don't recognize these people by name, but you do recognize them as the soldiers of Tribor. You've met them here and there, but
Yes.
they certainly know you."
They're the grunts.
The grunts. Yes, men. These 3 need help immediately. Please, bring them to the proper facilities.
Yes. We'll make haste. The town is gathered. They're having a debate right now before the election. Surprised that you weren't in town for that.
We had other matters to attend to, but we shall be heading to the debate presently.
Whatever you do, do your best to avoid our illustrious leader. Yeah, he's not going to be happy. Tarth Blackboard was looking for you by name, and he was not happy that you weren't there. Apparently, the Lord Protector had said that she had sent you on some sort of mission, he begrudgingly accepted that, but I don't think he's going to be very happy with you regardless. They take
Just had
the
our orders.
they take the three of the three people and kind of help them out, and they say we'll take it from here. We'll bring them to the tower as soon. We'll make way, but you should get into town as quickly as possible. I don't know how far they are, but I know that they were going to be starting the speeches soon.
After we get past.
Yes, very well. Get on. And he'll turn to Flander. It's a bit ominous.
Light.
True.
After we get past the guards, Theo asks, were any of the 12 on that list, that ledger that we had?
No.
No, not that I remember Alan mentioning.
No.
Okay, he's confirming.
No, good to ask. Fair question, but no.
Eckankar was on the list.
We knew it.
He peels off his face. Ha ha.
All along.
Still, if
It's that fourth mask.
I just like the fact that he keeps peeling off masks and he's continually different. I'm really your mom. I'm really no.
Still, the captain of the guards would care to see this ledger explaining why there's been a wave of petty crime.
He might be. I find it odd he's asking me for me specifically.
Everybody
Well,
knows your name here, Eckankar.
No, I'm
Better or for worse.
You're
This
on
is
the,
like
on
Cheers.
the tips of everyone's tongue.
It's like Cheers.
Making your way to Tribor today takes everything you've got. Sure wouldn't like to worry. Wouldn't help a lot. Okay, there you go.
All right. Yeah. No. That family is being taken care of. Let's continue on. Do we have a specific place we want to go to? Do we want to go straight to the debate?
Let's go.
If we go straight to the debate, we need a contingency. Are we
What
doing
is
this
our
thing
plan?
now, or
Yeah.
will say
what
this.
is the plan?
As you're walking in toward Tribor, you can see from your position far to the north, we're just south of the tower in the market. There is a gathering of people and a platform that has been constructed, a wooden platform. On the platform, you can see just barely in the distance, you can make two figures. You're guessing it's Jarathra Chandrel and Dufessa Shane. And behind them looks like several soldiers. One of them is Tart, and one of them is Garrig, and you can also see Callie up there. She is the woman from
Yeah.
Anarok. She is a soldier.
Yeah.
There is many
I know
people in the crowd. You can't make out any individual in the crowd from where you're at. And there's some tents and things that have been put up in this place. That's where you can see. I'll give you the option of going there or doing something else. It's your choice.
Do you guys want pass without a trace?
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I am gonna ask Hemo to put the Uthgard axe in his bag of holding because
not.
it is making me. I'm not. No!
You think you actually grab it and you think about this in your head, and you swear you said it, but a minute later you look down and you see it in your
My
like,
hand.
Shoot.
Yeah.
On your hip.
Oh, no, I don't know how to break this.
You gotta pick up dual wielding. That's what you gotta do.
All right.
So I think
I think this, and then I black out, and I'm holding it.
It's like you ever had those things where you kind of like you're looking for your keys and you find the keys in your hand, and you're like, where's my keys? Or your glasses on your top of your head or whatever.
Looked at when I was wearing them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you kind of like, you suddenly discovered that you thought you had kind of this conversation in your head, but suddenly you see, as you're kind of walking in it, you're like, wait, I still have this thing.
Yes, Ek, it does look imposing when you hang it on your belt.
What?
Yes,
what?
it's quite the impressive weapon to hang on your belt. I said.
I don't know why you keep talking about it though.
Really? Zindra goes, God, it's almost
like he's obsessed.
Yeah, it's almost like he's obsessed.
No, I thought he was
It's
a
stone,
hammerman.
we
when
get
I
it.
first
Nothing
met him.
wrong as a man
I guess
of
he really likes
blades.
this axe.
Do you like that axe better than your hammer?
He's like holding it. Yes.
Zindra looks at the stone axe and she goes, if this is a phallic thing, I'm not even going to bother. She's just, she rolls her eyes and she's like, no. She's like, this boys club, I'm not going to get involved with.
That's
I'm out.
weird though, right?
Oh,
I'm like,
club,
that
it's a
doesn't
max.
help me. It's right in the
Sounds
middle.
like it better than his hammer.
Why do you
When
say
a-
it so
when a
sinisterly?
fighter and a weapon
Maybe like a
uh,
religion check to see if that's
match
normal
very
for
well.
a person of his type.
I will tell you what. Give me a history roll.
All right.
Can I
Good
insight check him?
You can insight check and go for it.
17
Jabru doesn't
on my
know him well
history.
enough to even.
Yeah.
say, oh, he's got a new weapon. All right.
Llyr and I have hung out, so yeah.
Yeah.
What fighter is not enamored by the power within their weapon?
Well, you think that this axe may have some hidden powers with it. It might. He seems to be very liking it. He's been very successful. You survived this.
True.
So you're not exactly sure.
He literally threw the other hammer down.
But
I'm remembering that too.
One of the things, one of the
Yeah.
things that you're kind of questioning is the fact that you do know that this Uthgard axe was stolen from from a religious site, most likely, or some type of site, and you're wondering if there may be some ancillary effects.
Yeah.
You're a little
I'm
you're
starting to piece-
suspicious.
I'm
You're
starting to feel
suspicious, right?
suspicious, yeah.
All right.
Maybe I could take a look at that after we have some rest.
Cameron,
Cameron pulls it away from you. He's like, what?
Llyr
No.
looks at Eckankar, and you get the feeling that
This isn't normal. I remember an afternoon we were hanging out in the woods. He spent the entire afternoon talking about the final points of hammer combat, and so I'm starting to think there might be something going on with this axe.
yeah. So like he up until the point he had been using that hammer a few times, and he maybe even have told you some things about it, but you just get the insight that he kind of like
He can still smite with this though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's holding it. He
Channeling
kind of looks
stuff.
at it a little bit. There's
fondly.
more. There's more than just the hammer. There's sort of a little bit of a slightly obsession about it. What it means to you, you're not exactly sure, but you're like, kind of suspicious. I would say both Llyr and Theo are suspicious at
All
this
right,
point.
that's fair.
All right, what are you guys gonna do? You
So
have the town.
we were talking about our plan, right? Our strategy.
Yeah.
And
Or
I think-
lack of one.
Well, when we talked last time, I think the goal was to expose fake Duvessa, and we had talked about we have three sort of strategies to get the mask off of her face. That doesn't mean we have to go do that and assault her immediately, but I think I wanted to recap those real quick, right? So we're on the same page. One was we could physically try to grab it, right?
The old
Doesn't mean it's
Scooby-Doo
first,
method.
but that's one. There was the dispel magic option, and then we had the
Yeah.
sand that we found that could make it like F with a disguise.
When you throw the sand, it effectively casts a dispel magic on it. So
Yeah.
it has the effect of the dispel magic spell for illusions.
For illusion.
We
So those
We'll
are
probably have to make several attempts
Yeah.
in a small succession in order to be successful with a foe
Yeah.
like this.
Well, that's
'Cause
starting
also-
combat too, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's saying if you
Because
want us to-
also, like, straight up, like, we do the sand method, and like throw sand, dispels it. Everybody in the crowd, or even Duvessa fans, to be like, oh, they cast a spell on her to make her look wrong, right?
Yeah,
So-
that could blow up too. But just wanted to cover those real quick.
Yeah,
But also-
I think those are kind of like our three options. We have a lot of circumstantial evidence of like people working in ways to help Duvessa or fake Duvessa, but not a lot of fake Duvessa ordered it.
Yeah, we can certainly
Yes.
talk about the ledger that we found.
Yep.
And
There-
I
there's
don't
a
think
lot
we
of
bring
stuff.
out the halfling though. I think we would just like
We wait for that. Yeah, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff like people working against Chandrel,
yeah,
for sure.
yep. So, but we could talk about how that was orchestrated, right? All of the attacks and the looting and all that stuff was orchestrated recently, and we have proof of that. Now, who would stand to gain by it being orchestrated? And then we can point right at fake Duvessa. It's like she would be the one who would be behind this, right? So
If we could
that's
do
one way.
like a point and then a dispel magic on the point, that could work
at the
pretty
same
well.
time, well, it is
Yeah.
casting a spell.
There'd
though.
have to be
You'd have to
context.
verbally undo.
All right, so are you guys going to go toward the debate you can see that people are talking on stage and moving on there. The crowd is clapping, and giving kind of weak claps, but they are still clapping. You can see as you get closer, you can hear the chatter of people talking on the outskirts, as if people on the outside are kind of talking more conversations and listening.
What could do
Oh God,
perception or kind of like to kind of like listen in and on what they're saying?
The
You're gonna
spell
have to
magic does have a 120-foot range, though. So you
No,
could-
you have to throw this. And
No, but I'm just saying.
Well, the sand,
you can
yeah,
cast
the
a spell.
sand is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me have one.
We could do them all at the same time.
Okay, we have two faces. I know who they are too. They're
I have a dispel magic that I can use. I didn't pack my. We don't have the resources for like restorations to remove curses or anything.
No.
the two faces were the sex workers that I knew, right?
Yep, basically, yep. There was an older woman and a younger woman.
Which one would you like?
This is why there's so many half-breeds.
Do you?
You keep bringing this up. I don't think you should be saying these things, Drew.
It's true. I'm sorry.
This is why there are so few half-Shadowkai.
Yeah, okay. So the two faces are of Yin Firelust. She's an older woman who lived in Yartar, and the younger one is Jen Silky Driftwood.
Silky Driftwood. How'd they get silky?
She's a
Driftwood.
younger woman who hung out at the Wink and Kiss and believed to be in the illicit trade industry. That's what you thought.
Mm-hmm. So he's like, well, which one would you like, the older or younger? Also, what are you planning?
Captain puts it on.
He's like, I can make some coin here. I'm gonna work the crowd.
You do look better. He nods at you. I gave you the young one, by the way.
Okay,
Oh.
you put on the face as it does. It effectively casts disguise self on yourself with it. You see her. You see Jean.
Does it stab itself into Jeru's face?
Yeah, basically, as he puts it on,
Yeah.
he is transformed into the image. It just as a dispel. It just as a disguise self spell. He just transforms.
It's I
You
guess
don't
it
feel a
functions.
lust for blood?
Y'all feel
It functions
your-
like the movie The Mask. you
Yeah,
know?
kind of like the mask. Yeah.
That transformation
PRTY?
always scared me.
Gotta.
All right. Well,
And he's-
there you go.
He's like, Shadow
Yeah, very creepy as a
Shadowkai
kid.
stand out fairly well.
All right, you now have the image, the visage of Jen Silky Driftwood, the mask on
I'll
you.
put Yin Firelust back in my bag.
Yeah. That could mess with them too, is seeing Silky Driftwood have like that's somebody we have the face of. Why are they there? You know?
Yes, indeed.
Okay,
Well,
You'll
we're
throw
going
off.
to be undercover until this thing happens, right?
Well,
and
that's
once it
happening right
happens,
Oh,
until we do the thing, we're going to need some word, some signal. What is the signal for us to all attempt to unmask the fake Duvessa?
get her.
Get her.
Get her.
That's your signal?
That's your
I
signal,
think
Ray.
Yeah. I think it should be just like, oh God, please help me.
well, should that be a second option, a plan B, and plan A? Should it not be to go bring the information about the ledger and the attacks on the town?
We have two fiery speakers that should go
Yes,
and make a scene.
not me.
Did you cast Pass Without Trace?
I can do that for everybody right now. Woo. Everybody gets +10 to their stealth checks.
All right, so
Because I'm going to melt into the crowd.
okay.
Oh, Drew's gone. All right.
All right, so are you guys gonna approach the scene?
I will stay within 60 feet.
I'll let you put yourself on the map where you want to be. You'll start out on the southern end of the map. You can pick anywhere you want to be on the southern, couple squares on the map, and we'll start from there. And you can tell me what you want to do. Let me bring the map up now.
Yeah. I think Drew was onto something. So I think I would ask Flander to come with me with whatever we're doing.
Yes, good. You two go sway the audience.
Yeah.
I go and do that.
I'll
What
stick
is our
with,
signal for when to break cover?
Who's got the dust?
I think Eck has the
Eckankar.
dust.
Yeah.
I have the pocket sand.
And you're
All right.
going up there, so that gives you an
I
opportunity.
wonder if I could make an arrow out of that. No,
All right,
no.
let
I don't know
me
if
bring
I-
the map up. Okay,
Okay.
so let me bring the map up, and then I'll kind of back it up so people can see, and then we'll go from there. Okay, just give me a second here.
Sounds good. Oh
my
God,
God, you
there's
set
so
this
many
up.
people. No. Oh man.
All right. As you
Wow.
can see,
Oh, is that
Tribor's-
Sanjit sitting with a lady?
Sandbor is
A
full.
lady.
Way to go,
Tribor is full
Sanjit.
of so many handsome people.
exactly right.
For a,
Is that
Is that
Hagrid?
Hagrid?
Jinx.
All right. Let me
Large bearded groundskeeper for
Yeah, that's what it
legal
says.
purposes.
That's
Oh, there's
Hagrid
Fohammer.
and his other brother Hagrid.
That's right. Okay, so where do you guys want to put yourself on the map?
You said the south part?
Yeah, just anywhere in the first 10 feet or so of the south. Put yourself somewhere, and I'll kind of. Oh, so you guys are down here somewhere in the south.
Oh God, Jordan's here. No. She's got to get out of here.
Why? We're not launching fireballs.
oh, way down.
Yeah.
Yet.
Oh,
I'm
she's
currently
cutie.
there.
You're gonna be. Everyone starts down here, and you can tell me where you want to go.
Okay, very good.
Okay, so we're gonna start from here. We're not in initiative or anything, but as you move forward, things can happen as you move. So feel free to let me know what's going on. As you do, you can see ahead of you. You can see that you can hear that Darathra Chandral is speaking to the crowd. The crowd is answering with mixed claps. What do you guys want to do at this very moment? Jorlins does not notice you. She seems to be talking with this person. This appears to be some kind of a shopkeeper that they're having a conversation with, and the shopkeeper seems to be trading some goods with her. She has a basket and she's talking with them. It looks like some kind of a different pairs of fruit. So they're having a conversation. These are actually up here. You can see these are the booths where they actually will be voting, and you can see people already setting in line, waiting to cast their votes once the debate is over. Once they give their opening statements and they can talk. This is not really much as a debate as they give opening speeches and people can ask questions and things like that. And then they'll set they have basically a couple hours to go ahead and cast their votes. People in town will come in and cast their votes randomly throughout the next couple hours. Okay. And then at sunset they tally up the votes. That's basically what happens when the sun goes down, and it's really Tarth's the leader of the 12. He makes the call. This is the close. So pretty. Not so strict as it might be now with water clocks and whatever. All right, you guys appear at the bottom here. You guys are all down here coming in the town. You can see a wash of people throughout here. What do you guys want to do?
I think to start, Eckankar, seeing Jorlin's there, he's gonna go to Zindra. Zindra, I need you to...
She jumps on him.
I don't think me moving to Jorlin's and asking her to leave and having her leave would be good. Please tell her that I told her to head home.
Give me a persuasion roll. You see Zindra's eyes locked directly on Duvessa Shane. She's almost not listening to you for a moment. Give me a persuasion.
I'm not telling her to leave. I'm just saying, tell Jorlin's to go home. Oh no, an 11. she
as she looks forward, she kind of whispers to you, not staring at you. She goes, just tell her yourself. We have a job to do.
Fuck.
She's right down here in this crowd. The map, of course, is way back there because I'm trying to show everybody the massive crowd of people.
Yeah.
All right, so she kind of takes a step forward. Anything else? People can kind of, we're not an initiative, but just don't one person kind of take over the whole thing. So you want to do something?
I want to move in, and I'm looking for people that kind of don't belong.
Yeah, give me a perception roll.
And obviously I don't know anyone, but guards and I'm looking for her henchmen essentially.
Remind me, were you with Eckankar when Eckankar ran into Duvessa? That's what I want to know. Okay, go give me a roll.
He stayed behind and grabbed the magic items.
Yeah.
But people will stand out with.
Yep. Give me a. If you get a high enough perception roll.
Yep.
What'd you get?
It helps if I'm on the right page. And have
All right, what'd you end up getting?
18.
18. Looking throughout the crowd, one thing you'll notice is that way up here, and I'll hopefully you can see it on the map here. This person right here, this person is standing at the edge of the crowd. This person is heavily armored, but is not a member of the Tribor militia or of the 12.
I'm sorry, where?
Right here.
Right in front of the stage.
Like right in front of the stage.
Red dot guy.
Okay.
You see, he's standing out because he's in heavy armor, wearing a helmet. The whole thing just sort of standing there,
Kind of like me.
and he's not. He's the only one in the crowd that is heavily. No, there are people who have like leather armor or pieces of armor, but he's literally like decked out, like in
like
full.
Theo, basically. Just
Yeah.
Like Theo.
He's like better armor than
yeah.
better armor than Eckankar probably.
He's
Yeah, so you see him. You
suited
see
up
him
for
sitting
battle.
there. So he immediately like, oh, that's odd. And it's you rolled a really good perception, so that's the only way you kind of see him through the crowd.
Yep.
All right.
Glint of metal.
Yeah. All right.
I'll point that out to Llyr.
All right. Llyr, that person has been pointed out to you. Llyr, is there anything specific you want to do as you make your way through the crowd? On the outskirts of this map, you can see there are many people that are kind of like having conversations and talking, and they're listening, but they're just not running up and crowding the stage. They're all kind of waiting their turn before they can start voting.
For now, no. I'm just gonna try to blend in with the crowd and make my presence not so known. I'll cast my my
was about to
feeble
say-
disguise self to be a
Like 7 foot tall Smurf.
yeah 7. But I'll just be a normal human. I'll look like some nondescript guy you'd meet at the gas station.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Can I see
So
if there's any magical effects going on currently in the area?
yeah, give me what is your range that you can detect magic? Do you have a detect magic?
I don't have
range?
that spell.
Well, then you're probably not detecting a whole lot. But you
But
can give me an
nobody's
Arcana check.
obviously casting or anything like that.
If you give me a high
as
enough
people start to split off, can Hemo just go? If we're going to kick it off, just the signal is mask off. Just say that, and we'll all know it's time to go.
looking around the town, you see that there are various parts of minor magic that is being used here. Though this is a frontier town, this is a crossroads town.
It is
magic,
Faerun.
if the Faerunian magic is everywhere. You see that there are magic lights. There are devices that actually will do counting, where you can literally take coins and put them in there, and they'll rack them for you just with like mage hands. They kind of count them, and they'll put them in equal amounts of stacks, so that it makes it easy to count. It's a lot of mundane magic that you're seeing amongst the crowd. None of which, of course, is something that you're going to probably be interested in. But
Anything at their little stands that they're at, Duvesta and Drothra?
No, they seem to be at podiums, and they're speaking at the crowd. There seems to be some kind of a magical device that allows their voices to be heard louder.
Okay, that makes sense.
So there
Sort
seems to be a magic orb in front of them, and there's two other orbs that are sort of acting as megaphones, announcing. So even though you're far back here, you can hear them.
A magical PA.
A magical PA. All right. As you kind of, has everybody had a chance to do something? Flander, is there anything you want to do?
I'm going to hang back for now. We'll just stay at Eckankar's side.
All right. You want to move yourself?
Hemo's gonna clock Zindra's murderous intent and try to move to keep up with her.
Yeah, she didn't listen to a single word I said.
As you guys are moving forward,
Splitting the party.
you can hear
Always.
You can hear, as you get close, you can hear Drothra sort of, she's been speaking for a while, but as you get closer, you can hear her kind of finishing up. She's like, I have been here for 14 years, through ups and downs, through the great drought and the winter that would not end. I was here then, and I am here now, forever your servant, forever your friend, forever for Tribor. And you can see the crowd kind of gives her a kind of weak collapse. They're kind of like, and she stares out. Let's see if she notices you in the back there. She doesn't seem to
Yeah, pretty
make
far.
any contact with you right now. And so nobody, you're kind of walking up. There's so much things going on. The crowds and people are talking. There's one stand that's selling rock candies to kids, and there's a in far in the distance you can see that they're far out here. You can kind of see there's a little like place where maybe they're having little pony rides where the kids are riding them, and they have like little people out there giving them rides and stuff. Almost make it like a festive event. This is St. Oswald's Day. This is a festive event. At sunset, they're going to have a great feast and they're going to celebrate. But right now, it's politics at this moment. It's almost like a reprieve from the fun.
Theo sighs and looks back at you guys and says, Flander, you better get up there. I'll talk to Jorlands. And he starts walking over that way.
All right.
Okay.
You're going to walk to Jorland, so go and put yourself next to them. Where is the rest of you going to go?
Eckankar phone in on
I know, right? Make it
Eckankar and I think Flander coming with me. We're going to start walking up.
All right, you put yourself where you want to be, and then we'll bring the next part in. This is sort of an event-driven story.
I mean, like,
double move.
Okay, so like, yeah, I mean,
there's no.
I'll move as far as I can.
Are you walking right up to the front, or are you kind of walking around the side, or what are you going to do?
Yeah,
I'm walking around the side, like this way, going around the side. I don't want to be in the front. Yeah.
All right, Zindra's right behind.
And Flander, you can come with me.
Hemo, is Zindra still trying to like charge through the crowd?
She's not charging. You can just see that she's very determined. She doesn't have her bow drawn, but you can kind of see she's agitated, and she has her eyes locked on Duvessa Shane sitting up here in the crowd. I'm going to bring the map a little bit closer in.
Yeah, I think the four of us are walking together, and like I'm kind of trying to stay in front of Zindra, but she's making it hard. She's fast walking as hell.
She's a fucking wood elf, so she goes faster than
she's moving.
All right. First of all, we're going to see down here before I get too close. In the time you're walking up, Theo, you walk up to Jorlands, and as you approach, she looks up at you and she goes, "Oh, Theo,
Jorlands,
Eckankar, where is Eckankar? He's been gone for the whole night."
He's here. We have news we have to report. I want you to stay with me for a second, though.
She looks over and she manages to spot Eckankar in the crowd. She's like, "Wait, I should go speak with him."
No, hold on a second.
Give me opportunity.
No.
I'll grab under her arm lightly.
Don't you do that.
Give me an intimidation roll then.
She's pretty strong.
She's got that. She does laundry for a living. She'll break you.
I guess they're both charisma. He's not very good at either one of them.
Nope.
I'm not. I'd rather roll persuasion.
Give me a persuasion then,
because he's not grabbing her. I'm saying like he's just kind of holding her.
Okay. You can tell me what you want to do.
I rolled a 9.
She walks. She kind of looks at you and she says, "I don't understand. Well, what's going on here?"
We're afraid there might be violence in a moment, so we want to make sure you stay in a safe spot. That's what he asked.
She takes a step forward and looks over at Eckankar and sees Zindra behind and Hemo kind of walking in a line in Flander. And she looks over at you. She looks over and she goes, "They're not going to do anything to the candidates, are they?"
We're afraid that the candidate are going to do stuff to us. Just hold for a moment and listen. That's what we're here for, right? Is to listen.
She kind of takes that half step where she's at, and she stops and she says, "All right." She'll kind of just you can see that she's more or less curious.
She's watching. She's not leaving.
Than afraid. Yeah. But you think that any moment anything happens, she might be inclined to run over to Eckankar. Just so you're aware. All right, the rest of you move up to.
She just loves me so much.
I feel like she would have done that anyways, so I didn't probably actually sway her one way or the other.
Yeah.
Right. I might
always send in the negative charisma person.
I'll try to keep things that are happening on the map so that you can see them a lot. There's a lot of things going on. So, but you're not seeing much more than everybody else is. There's no labels on it. There's only labels on a few people. Most of it is Triborn militia. At the top of the steps, as you approach, you can see that Duvessa Shane is standing before the podium, as is Darathra Shendrell. Darathra has just finished up her speech. Behind, you can see a Tarth Black Warden walk up. As you approach Eckankar, you see Tarth looking over. He gives you this. He tries to not show it, but he clearly shows that he gives you kind of this angry look as you approach, almost like where the hell have you been? Behind him, Garrig is sitting there. Your friend Garrig. He's up on another member of the 12. He's standing on this side, kind of between Duvessa and kind of behind Duvessa there. And he gives you a look, and he kind of gives you more of a curious look. He notices you, but he's not sure. Like, he's not trying to measure you like Tarth is. Kali over here seems to be here. She seems to her whole being right now seems to be protecting Darathra. You seem that she's sort of Darathra's personal guard. You think that Garrig is probably Duvessa's personal guard, been assigned.
Mm-hmm.
Behind them, you can see that there are Triborn militia here. The people around you, around the crowd, are all over the place. Your friend Fohammer is here at the side. He's at the side of the. You can
right
also
up
see
next to it, of course.
the other person you can
gotta be.
notice just far enough away.
Oh, Sanjeet.
You can
So
see
he's a what is he? God,
Does he have a wooden sword with him?
yeah. No, you can see Farsal sitting right here. That you can see him right here. You know him to be Flander's brother. He is also a member of the Tribor militia.
Oh, the
So,
militia.
yeah, he's a soldier for them.
yeah,
And then
he's only a militia. He's not a 12.
right. And then you can see over here that yes, you can see Sanjeet is here talking with the woman he is courting. They're sitting here talking.
Aw.
You just passed him by, Hemo.
No, she's
They
very
didn't,
nice
they, didn't,
looking.
they, didn't they didn't notice you. They were literally having a conversation with Tamric, and if you remember Tamric, he is the one who deals with the potions. He was trying to sell you his magical potion. They're having a conversation and more or less talking amongst each other.
We have serious business. Leave him to his youth.
All right, as you approach, you can hear the speech that Duvessa Shane gives. And if you want to interrupt and do something and jump on the stage and start killing people, just let me know. I'd be happy to oblige. Ladies and gentlemen of Tribor, she begins. Thank you all for gathering here today. As we stand at the crossroads of our town's future, I wanted to address the pressing issues that have plagued us recently. Tribor, once a bustling hub of commerce and trade, has seen a troubled decline. Caravans that once filled our streets with goods and prosperity are now few and far between. She looks around the crowd, and you can see a Tarth who is behind her kind of looks around, knowing that after the speech, he's going to allow for questions to either candidate. She continues, instead, we face a rash of crimes that threaten our safety and way of life. The truth is, Tribor deserves better. We deserve a leader who can restore our town to its former glory, who can bring back the caravans and ensure our streets are safe once more. And let me be clear, that leader is not Darathra Chandrel. You see a mixed crowd kind of clapping. There's a few people in the crowd. Obviously, there are people who are siding with Darathra, but more seem to be siding with.
Does she look like she's scanning the crowd?
No, she seems like she's looking at the crowd. She's talking to the crowd. She doesn't seem to be looking at anybody in particular.
She's looking for her
She's a
little
pretty good
halfling
orator.
Yeah.
Little halfling hyper.
Yeah. But she continues. For too long, Darathra has failed to protect our town. Her so-called leadership has left us vulnerable and isolated. Under her watch, our markets have dwindled, and our reputation as a safe and thriving crossroads has crumbled. Her inability to address the rise in crime and the disappearance of our caravans is a clear indication of her incompetence. The crowd shifts and changes. There's some claps. There's some people who kind of look uneasily, as if maybe they're still on Chandrel's side. She can. You see, Duvessa continues. I, on the other hand, am ready to take decisive action. I have a vision, the strength, and the determination to turn things around, I will not stand idly by while our town falls into disrepair. I will bring security back to our streets and make Tribor a beacon of trade and prosperity once again. As you do that, those of you who are nearing the crowd, you can see that at the beginning of inside the crowd here, just at the beginning here, you can see that two people, this one here, Eckankar, this one here, and this one here, you've seen these two people before. These two people were traveling with Duvessa Shane when you met them in town recently. You also saw them earlier when you were having that combat. They were standing side by side on horses next to Duvessa Shane when she was in armor. The first night that you were that you met those criminals,
riding by on a giant lion.
Yeah.
Yep. I did hit my head pretty hard, so I don't know.
Yeah, you do see them there.
Yep.
Okay. Continue.
You guys walking up during all this?
Yeah, I mean, like, we're slowly moving up, essentially.
She says, Doratha's feeble attempt at leadership has been nothing more than a series of failures. She has shown us time and again that she is unfit to hold the office of Lord Protector. Her tenure has been marked by indecision and weakness, qualities that have no place in our leadership. You see when that happens, the two in the front of the crowd look around. You think that you see that the one in the heavy armor seems to notice that you are walking up. The two of you. They don't see you, but just that Eckankar walked up.
I lean over to Llyr. How far is your telepathy go?
Telepathic, 60 feet.
Yeah, it's a little too far.
You have to get closer. Anything else you want to say or
I can
do?
dispel magic from here, though.
It's not much.
You could move up. He needs to interrupt. Do not let her get into a flow.
I'll kind of mosey my way up and telepathically to Eckankar be like, you need to put the brakes on.
Now Eckankar, you do know the format of this is that they're each going to give a speech.
Yep.
And they get to answer questions. And with Tarth looking at you,
Anybody guess?
That's why I'm not interjecting. I'm waiting for the question and answer segment. Like it's important.
Better throw a hell of a curveball.
She says, when I am elected as your Lord Protector, Duvessa continues, I will implement a robust plan to crack down on crime. Our patrols will be increased, and our law enforcement will be empowered to act swiftly and decisively. You see some of the people cheer and roar. I will ensure that every caravan that enters our town does so with confidence and leaves with a sense of security. Moreover, I will forge a new alliance and strengthen existing ones to bring back the trade that is the lifeblood of Tribor. Look around. Where is it? Where is it? Not with our current leadership. Our town will once again be the bustling, vibrant place it was meant to be. We will see an influx of goods, trade, and prosperity. And you see the crowd kind of nodding and cheering a little bit. It is time for a change. It is time for a strong, effective leader. Dorathra Chandrel has had her chance. She has had it and failed. Now I ask for your support to lead Tribor into a new era of safety, growth, and prosperity. Together, we can make our town better than it ever was. Thank you, and remember, a vote for me is a vote for the future of Tribor. And you see the crowd kind of nodding and cheering and yelling. Clearly having the upper hand in the response of the crowd. With that, Tarth walks up and he puts his hands up and he looks to everybody and says, with that, we will open up to questions for our candidates. And here's where you get the chance to do something as players. You can
both of us raise our hands. Like we're
So here's
I have a
situation.
question.
Yeah, here's the situation. You each have ability to you can describe what you want to do as your characters, and then I will give you a role based on the ability or kind of skill that you're trying to interact with. The more creative you are, you can use some very creative skills or benefits you have, but you have to be creative and to tell me how you're going to make that work within this setting. So we will start with whoever wants to start amongst the 6 of you that want to do it. What would you? Do you want to go first? What do you want to do?
Ek wants to essentially like go up there and like list out everything that Darathra has had me do. We cured the Barwoods, right?
Yeah.
We found this ledger of people doing crimes on the city, and we took out that person. So these crimes that Duvessa is talking about, we have found the culprit of that, and we have defeated them.
So you're basically saying that this halfling was the one who was organizing the whole situation. Is that what you're?
Well, essentially, I'm trying to be like, okay, Darathra has given me orders and has had me do these things, and all of these things that Duvessa is talking about, like this high crime rate, the Barrowwoods, the high road being too dangerous. On orders from Darathra, I have either fixed that or am in the midst of fixing it.
Found evidence to...
Or I've found evidence to fix it. Like,
Perfect.
Darathra has given me those orders.
Give me a persuasion roll with advantage.
There you go.
All right. There we go.
So Ek is taking the stage.
I think he's talking from the crowd.
I'm raising my hand from the crowd, yelling out. Essentially.
I don't think you'll be on the stage, as you know, that would kind of be a little bit off but he's just
19.
All right.
I might use inspiration on this to re-roll.
It's up to you.
Do you have to take that roll?
No.
Yeah.
You can roll
whatever's the best, right?
The best, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use inspiration on that one for sure.
Come on.
28!
Nice.
28!
As you do so, you see Duvessa Shane wrinkle her nose a little bit at this, and she begins speaking back to you, and but the crowd seems to have heard you, and they each get a moment to answer. Duvessa says, without having the crime, without having the Rathras problems at the beginning, there wouldn't have been this whole problem. She sort of gets a little flustered, and Darathra says, as you see, the 12 who are under my leadership have taken decisive action to find the culprit. We have the evidence, and you see the crowd kind of like swayed a little bit, but not swayed enough. So Eckankar, you basically every character gets an opportunity to do one item, and they can tell me what that might be, and they can use whatever skills they want, but you're basically influencing the vote. So this is sort of like the meta game within the game, right? So you think that you definitely won that confrontation. So nice. Who else? You have to win so many confrontations. You can lose some, of course. You don't have to win them all, but you have to win so many conversations in order to sway the crowd to vote.
Somebody draw a crowd sway meter on the side.
Yeah.
So who else
Applause.
would like to take a crack?
Flander has got his hand up and he says, I have a question. Since when does a humble priestess of Kalimvor go after power?
She responds to you and she says, it is my right to seek office. Thus I have done. I do not want to have power. I want to have security.
Not your faith. But not your faith. The priestess of Kalimvor does not seek power.
All right.
If that is what you are.
She says, of course I'm a priestess of Kalimvor. I have followed Kalimvor's ways for my entire life. I may not be as old as you are. You're an elf, but I certainly have been on this Toril long enough to understand that it is not only religion that brings power to people's lives, but security. Give me a roll. Give me a persuasion roll. You get, but not with advantage.
Okay. Persuasion.
Can you give yourself inspiration on that?
Okay. 13.
All right.
As any meta skills or anything you can add to it?
As you speak out, you seem that that Devessa seemed to have been ready for that question about being a Kalimdor priestess, and she snapped back at you and made herself known that she is in fact she doesn't want to be in this leadership position. It's being thrust upon her by her need to bring security and safety to the crowd. You think you're 1-1 right now? Who else wants to?
So I look over at these people next to me. What do they look like?
Where are you at
Sorry.
right now? I've lost
by the
you.
horses.
Yeah, you are over by the horses.
like,
Which people are you looking at? The people next to you?
yeah.
They seem to be, to best of your knowledge, they give me a perception roll, because you never know what happens. I don't want to make assumptions about things. What'd you get?
15.
You think that these are probably typical caravan operators. They may actually work or own the caravan that you're standing right next to.
Right.
They seem to be, but they are interested. They're listening to the crowd.
Sure, they're financially involved.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of lean over. I'll try and soften my voice a little bit. Like, does she say how she's going to help the caravans? It seems the money has to come from somewhere to pay for that security. Is that going to mean higher taxes for us caravan drivers? You should ask that. Looking at the man,
Right.
Looking at the man, they're not going to listen to a woman.
And the woman next to you looks at you like she looks at you being a strong caravan woman herself. She looks at you like she kind of get the man kind of smirks at that statement, and the woman looks at you like are you hitting on my husband?
Go prove me wrong.
All right. What I want you to do is I want you to give me you can give me, in your choice, you can give me a performance roll, or you can give me a
Persuasion
roll. Your choice.
I will do performance, since I actually am trained in that.
Yep. I'm trying to give you guys options.
I appreciate it.
What'd you get?
19.
There you go.
All right. He asks the question. He kind of he barks out the question. How are we going to pay for this? And you can see that Juvessa was probably not exactly ready for that question. And she stumbles through talking about she seems to be reaching as she's stuttering through the trying to figure out how she's going to actually pay for this. She makes some assumptions, and you see a couple other people talk, and maybe a few people start yelling out questions that they kind of add on to the question, right? And you think as you move through, you think that you may have you've made a saw a chink in the Duvessa Shane armor as you sort of make your way through.
And then as their attention goes to the stage, I'll slink away.
I want you to roll. As you begin walking away, Duvessa, as you're talking to them, you notice that Duvessa makes perfect eye contact with you as you're talking.
Shit.
Yeah, you wink at her.
Yeah.
And she see her kind of wrinkle her nose, like her eyes kind of thin. There's she's almost looking not at you, but maybe through you. You don't think that she sees you, unless she has an innate true seeing ability or something like that. But she may recognize she sees you, and she may recognize exactly that who your vision might be. The way she looks at you, either she knows the real woman, or she knows that you're someone wearing the face of a real woman. She recognizes you. I rolled a 20, so that's what happened. All right. And
it's meant to throw her off.
Yeah. Anybody else going to do something in the crowd as
the whole reason I wore the mask.
Yeah, the other people are calling and asking questions, and they're asking back and forth, and they're throughout the affair. Anybody else going to do anything else?
I have a -1 to charisma, so instead I'm going to leave Zindra with just a stay cool, wait for an opening. And then I'll try. I want to sneak into the crowd and try to get as close as I can to that armored warrior who stands out.
All right. What I want you to do is I want you to just go ahead and give me your stealth roll here.
Do I have the benefits of the?
You get a +10 because you have. You have a
Yeah.
+10 because you have.
Heck yeah. Well, here is
Yeah, we all do.
stealth before that plus 10.
You could add 10 to it. 28.
18.
28.
28.
All right. So what I'm going to do is you point to the square that you want to be in. What square do you want to be in?
I want to be.
In his prostate with that roll.
Yeah, I want to be a little behind the armored warrior.
Right there?
Maybe
Right there.
here.
In the behind.
Okay.
Tap on the opposite shoulder trick.
All right. I'm going to move this
Yes.
character out. I'm going to allow you to put your character in there.
So the crowd sort of
Okay.
shifted a little bit.
Yeah,
And
they
I
kinda
want to
shift
just
around.
pretend to be a quiet. I just want to pretend to be a crowd member.
Yep. You kind of sneak up. You kind of part the crowd, slipping in and out. And
But I want to make sure that if this guy moves, I'm right there with him. So
Yeah, and
I'm trying to keep an eye on him.
give me an insight roll.
3.
All right. This armored warrior, he seems to be a professional warrior who can take care of himself. You think that he probably knows how. He's probably proficient with that armor and sword.
All right.
Right.
He's no slouch.
He's obviously not like just some guy who's like trying to traipse through wearing like a standing there. But other than
This
that,
isn't some
Daddy's
prince
armor.
in borrowed armor.
yeah. But he's just wearing. He's like that's all you can tell from that. But I do want to give you. I'm going to give you a quick chance here. I think I'm going to give you give me a religion roll.
Religion roll.
Oh, interesting.
What'd you get?
A 10.
You kind of maybe it's just your perception, maybe or whatever, but you're not getting any vibe from this. There may be some things you could have told, but nothing on him kind of seems out of ordinary. You're kind of looking at him, maybe you're not seeing some details, maybe whatever's happening, you haven't picked out what if there's anything more to say about this. All right, you've done
But
that.
if something happens, this guy's going to try something, and I'm going to be there.
Nice. All right. So is anybody else going to try to do anything before they end their speech and the crowd ends answering questions? Looks like if you're 2+2 and down 1 right now.
I think I'd like to go do.
Does
Go ahead.
move up and try to blend into the crowd too.
All right, you're there. Looks like you're doing
I'm also
that.
moving
Yeah.
up and in too.
Where are you?
Yeah, our high charisma people are.
There's so many people, I literally cannot tell what's going on. All right, looks like you're right there.
So
Got
there's
it.
moving up. Well, I was gonna move. There was another guy that was over here that had the hood on there. I was gonna see if I could mill my way up behind him and use my investigation skill.
Which guy is that?
This one right here.
How do you know that that's a person that may?
I didn't, did I? You had called him out, but that was to the other group.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Eckankar knows who that person is, but you don't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to use my investigation skill to maybe following the two speakers, but basically to see if I could call out something that didn't fit with Duvessa's disguise, right? And to basically detect it and call it out.
So you want to try to
Is her mannerisms not right? I mean, we talked about the religion thing for a second,
Yep.
but is she holding her symbol wrong, or is there something that would be that I could maybe call out by observing it and using that skill?
All right. So up till now, nobody's tried to say that she is a fake.
Right.
So you're basically want to
Yeah.
use this to call her out as a fake person.
But something that's visible for other people, so I don't have to persuade them.
Nope. I
Just-
get it. You want to
just-
use investigation as your way.
Yes.
You're kind of going the Columbo route.
Yep.
No
exactly.
charisma, but somehow.
He's looking and
First
he's just
seed of
studying
doubt
everything
for
as
the
close
crowd.
as he can, right?
do you have a stogie in your hand?
This is very Columbo because we know who done it, but we don't know how catch him.
That's
Yeah.
right. Columbo always
It's
knows.
super Columbo.
Columbo always
Don't know how
knows
to
the
prove
first
it.
5 minutes.
He sort of
All right.
walks around a few times
I'm
too
gonna-
as he goes between and kind of gets a couple of angles as they're talking.
I love the idea. So first of all, I'm going to give you inspiration for this idea because that's really it's creative. I love it. So you get inspiration, and then you can roll. You don't have to use inspiration for this roll. You just get inspiration,
Okay.
and then you can go ahead and make your roll. You have to, and there's a standard DC you're always trying to defeat. So this is trying to defeat the standard DC of the contest, but you can use investigation to do it. So go ahead and give me a roll. If you want to use your inspiration, you can, but you don't have to.
And that inspiration just lets me re-roll, right?
Inspiration gives you another
Another
D20. Then
D20.
you take the best of them. Yeah.
All right. I think I will use it.
Well,
Seems like a
first of
good
all,
chance.
you
I can
don't
roll,
have
right?
to.
Yeah, you're right.
In some D&D games, by right, by the way, you're supposed to declare inspiration before you roll. But in our game, I let you choose because I don't give inspiration out that much, so I want it to be meaningful.
Well, let's give it a
And
shot.
inspiration.
It's been kind of flowing this episode. So.
Yeah. Normally, inspiration we only add a d6 to the roll, but I'm just going to let you kind of today. We're kind of let you have another shot at the roll if you want.
All right. Well,
Kind of playing it by ear, a little loose today.
let's see what we can do with my
situation.
investigation roll
This
here.
is a mini game.
And I think I am going to use the inspiration to get myself advantage, or basically.
Yeah.
on
Normally in our game, inspiration is a d6, but we're not doing it. We're doing a mini game here,
Yep.
so I'm going to let you roll it again if you want.
that. All right. And my second roll was not as good. I'm going to also use my flash of genius to basically use my armor a little bit and sort of like use it as a detection. Kind of see what's going on. Maybe I got a magnifying glass in there and I can look.
Zooms in.
Yeah, exactly. I can kind of like check her out from a distance.
All right.
So that's I'll mark off one of my flash of genius, and that adds a +4. So I got a 19.
All right. You asked you yell out to her about her mannerisms that that effectively you're trying to call her out as not being a true priestess of Kalimvor.
Yes.
And that
specifically because she acts different. You don't
Right.
act like yourself.
right. She looks back at you and she gets to actually contest that. Okay. She looks back at you
Armored kill.
and she
Oh, right. Ow.
What a comment.
she snaps back in a few words to you as she talks and says she talks to you and she says how of course she's the true priestess of Kalimvor. How could you ever question her? But you see some of the people in the crowd are wondering about this whole thing with this Kalimvor priestess coming out, and if maybe the priestess of the death god might not necessarily be a good leadership person anyway. As you speak out.
Now you think about it's God of the dead.
Wait a minute.
They're gonna lead the town?
So
What fucking
she's
what?
leaning hard into that too, which is cool. All
Yeah,
right, I
and
like
you
it.
see as you speak out, you see the crowd kind of persuade a little bit. You think is there any and you think that as you've seen that some of the crowd is kind of on your side, is getting on your side. Anybody else going to do anything? Anybody who else has anybody not done something and wants to take a option? Hemo just went up.
Zindra hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that arrow to fly.
Zindra literally is standing next to you, and she's like, all I'm saying is that the moment it's on, I'm fucking hearing her right in the face.
She's white knuckling the bow.
Yeah, but you see that she's a little, even though she wants to fire at this thing, more than not firing because she is holding herself back from anger. You think that there's a little point of confusion. You think the visage of Duvessa Shane is almost a little bit difficult to shoot at. So she wants to,
Yep.
and you think that maybe if the enemy was anything other than having the visage of her closest friend and ally, that she might have been even more on top. She's a little bit indecisive, and as you might have guessed and figured out, Zindra has some challenges. With dealing with crowds, with people, she has a certain amount of challenges, and so this is somewhat confusing to her.
She's on the spectrum.
In some ways, right? So
One little- yeah.
so she
She's
these
dealing with some
crowds and everything
magical
are very confusing
BS,
to her.
that's for
Oh,
sure.
I hate crowds.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, one little thing I would like to do.
Yeah.
I'll lean over and just whisper some words of encouragement to Eckankar and give him bardic inspiration.
All right. You're going to give Eckankar bardic inspiration. Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So, so I think has everyone closed out? Ask all the questions they're going to ask of her.
Yeah, I did my thing.
Oh,
I gave everyone gets like one
One
shot,
shot.
and they sort of get their opportunity, and then based on the winner, how many people win and stuff, you're going to influence the actual final tally. So then, okay, so what's going to happen is now you all spoken out. The crowd has had a chance to hear and ask questions to the various types of the various people who are running for the election. And after that, Tar says, "Thank you all for coming to this to the election today. Thank you all for listening to the speeches. If you'll make your way now to the tables, you will be able to place your votes for the Lord Protector. Happy Oswald's Day to everyone, at sunset, we will announce the winner, and shortly after that, there will be a feast for the glories of St. Oswald's Day and the 3 fallen boars that have founded our town. And the crowd kind of cheers at that. And the crowd begins dispersing. You see Devessa kind of stand back a little bit. Those the 2 that are standing in front of her are standing waiting for her. Is there anything you're going to do? Are you going to let the crowd disperse, or are you going to do anything more?
I'm gonna walk on stage.
You're going to walk on stage. All right.
Good. Yeah.
Go ahead and put yourself on stage. Where do you want to put
You guys
yourself?
can follow me if you want. I'm just going to walk on stage to like here. Talk
All
with
right.
Tarth.
As you get up to here, but I'm going to move you up here. As you kind of climb up on stage, Tarth walks up to you as you climb on stage, and he says, "Eckankar Dune, I'm glad you made your presence finally." He looks back at Darathra, knowing that Darathra had given you an order, but him not being very happy about it, because you think that he prefers to give the order to his 12.
Yeah.
And he looks over at you, and you see Devessa walks up to here and leans down and is whispering. And I'll let Chemo take a chance of hearing it in a moment. Eckankar, he walks up to Tarth, walks up to you, and he says, "What?" He says, "What is all this? What is all this you were saying about finding the cause of these murder, or these break-ins and crimes?"
Yeah, no, like he'll produce the evidence, and
The
show like, yeah, he'll produce the ledger and just be like, as you can see here, the person that I confronted had told these people to confront wagons and can make crime and things happen in town.
All right. He starts listening to you, and he opens the ledger, begins looking at you. Hemo, give me a perception roll.
Oh boy, hope I hear well. Not that nature. Perception. What?
Oh, double 20s! Double 20s!
24.
Meant to be. Natural 20 on perception. I hear very well.
Everything.
He says, she leans over to that soldier. She leans over to the soldier, and the soldier is kind of in his heavy armor, and he looks up at her, and she whispers to him, but you hear her. She leans over, and she says at the when the election is announced, she kind of looks at the crowd, and she kind of gets a feeling that maybe it's not as going as well as she wants. She says, if I lose, we will leave immediately and regroup. Stay close. And this person who's sitting right here, he looks up at her, he looks up at her, and he says, "We're not going to kill them." And the Devessa looks down and says, "Not yet." And she and this one looks back and says, "Yes, Linari. Linariel. Yes, Linariel."
Oh,
Ah.
there it is.
She begins walking off, and when she does, he hops on stage basically to walk with her. You guys can try to stop him from doing that, but he's just sort of walking with her.
I stay in the crowd, but I look to the militia. Does this guy look like he's allowed on stage?
You think so? She's probably announced them as her personal guards, but they weren't probably allowed on stage. This one, on the other hand, walks kind of
Even
out.
more than Garrig? Like Garrig? Because you said Garrig was like her guard.
Yeah, basically for watching the election. When they started walking away, you can see Garrick is kind of keeping one eye on her, and then he was going to make his dismissal once he's lost. But I'm giving you an option if you wanted to jump on her. I didn't want to just fast forward so much that you don't get a chance. If you want to jump on her and start beating her up, that's your choice. I just wanted to give you that option before I just announce what's going on.
Fair enough.
So they're walking across the stage, and Garrick is listening and kind of seeing this, and he looks over at Tarth and says, "What do we?" Garrick says, "So this halfling, you said you have his body with you?"
Yes, we do. We do have him with us, and we have all of his information with us.
I'm glad you solved this. After this election, whoever wins, hopefully this will not continue. He looks over and he says, I have to make my leave. Duvessa is leaving. I must guard her into the election.
Ek takes that into thought. Like, whoever wins, he's looking at that.
Yeah, well, if you remember, Garrick is more of a neutral person.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like,
and you can decide that you don't like him or want to do something. But I'm just letting you know that
I've worked with him for at least 2 years. It's
you
just
know
like,
him. But you notice that he's very much of the neutral mentality. That he's more what you would consider very, very lawful. Like he doesn't take a good stance or towards something. He's more like very lawful to the letter.
Yeah.
He doesn't know this election is fraudulent.
Yeah, and I can't give him all the information right now.
No, all he knows is that you have told him that you caught the person who is sort of causing all of this strife, and he's like, whoever wins, I'm glad we got this taken care of. That's what his response was. So he's gonna take his leave with Duvessa and this other. Are you gonna do anything to stop Duvessa, this Eowyn, who you haven't really met very much before, and Garrick from leaving? They're gonna head off they're gonna head off to an ancillary building, a small building next to the tower, which is set up with guards to protect her during the election.
Is there a similar ceremony for the announcement of the election?
Yeah, they're gonna reconvene onto this podium, and they're gonna announce at sunset.
Yeah, so a couple hours from now.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna try to stop her right now.
Okay, so she and Garrick and her other personal bodyguard make their leave. As does Chandrell. When they leave, Chandrell waits, and she looks over at Eckankar, and she kind of gives you a nod, like she wants to speak with you.
I will nod at Black Warden.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna try to conspicuously, try to move away, not be dart right to Darathra. Just kind of move around.
As you move around,
get to her.
Let's see if he notices anything. No. Oh, I rolled a good. He notices Darathra kind of looking at you, and he kind of, as you lean in, he kind of leans his shoulder in. He doesn't do it in a way in which he's being hyper aggressive or anything like that, but he leans in and he says, Mr. Dune, remember who you report to. And he walks over to kind of the crowd and starts talking the crowd. We'll be reconvening. He's kind of getting the crowd to move, stand in line. He's going to start helping the Triborn militia get people in line to make their votes.
Yeah,
you're going to go over and talk to Darathra.
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
I will move over to her.
As you walk up, she crosses her arms in front of her nervously. And she says, thank you for all you've done. I heard about you finding that ledger. That's amazing. But we didn't find anything specifically to frame Duvessa, or hopefully that's enough. I don't know.
We have an idea, hushed voice. I don't want even. I feel like I don't even want Kali to know about this right now.
Okay.
So hushed voice. We have an idea.
It's loud enough here. There's a lot of ancillary noise, and she's standing next to her. She don't think she's trying to hear. She's she's what you would consider almost the ideal soldier. She more or less. She doesn't even want to know. She just wants to do her job, and she's more concerned about the crowds and anybody who might be picking up a hand crossbow and trying to take a shot. Right? She was careful.
Scanning constantly.
Yeah, she's watching that. All right.
Yes. We have found evidence that they have taken essentially the faces of people and have used them as disguises.
Drew is
we believe that what is happening with
I'll join you.
Duvessa.
She's like, what do you mean by faces? Like,
Could like from where we are, like Drew is like on the far end there.
he's down here.
We're kind of regrouping actually on this side over here.
Could I point to him and be like, that is
You can,
Drew?
yeah.
I point and I point to where Drew is, and I'm like,
You can probably
Yeah, I only got a 12.
Theo easily too.
that is
Oh, 22
Drew
actually.
Yeah, let's see.
wearing the face of
She sees you.
Nice.
of
She looks right
someone
at you.
else.
She looks right at you, and she says, so it's some kind of a mystic's disguise, like a wizard spell?
Yes, we believe that we can dispel it, but we didn't have a good opportunity to do it during the debate. We did our best to sway the crowd to your side.
So do you think that she kind of looks back, kind of glances back, but doesn't want to glance back at the small anti-building that Duvessa is going into. It's a tiny little 10 by 10 little, not much more than a sitting chamber. And she looks back. She goes, "Are you telling me that someone else is wearing Duvessa's face?"
Yes, this is something that we've been thinking all along, but we have a little bit more evidence now with this.
She thinks about it for a moment, trying to think about doing a recall knowledge, but she doesn't seem to come up with anything. And she says, "Well, we have a few hours to the vote. Whatever face. It's terrible what happened to Duvessa, but if the election goes smoothly and she fades away, I don't know what else to do beyond that. We'll deal with it then. Let's see. Just try to keep an eye on her if you can, just in case. But don't look like you're keeping an eye on her.
Lord Protector,
Fly casual.
fly casual. I know you are the leader of this town, but I don't directly take orders from you.
Well,
Tarth seems to have a different idea in mind. Might you have a conversation with him, or do you think he might not be an ally?
I'll talk to Tarth, but didn't want him to know all the things that are going on. You and I, and just a few of you, are the only ones who have any inkling that something is going on below the Lord Protector's tower. And I don't want.
He has every right to take one of the 12 and send him on a special assignment.
Yes, she basically has the right to. She actually can re-establish laws. She can just declare new laws. So she has. So she. But you think that Tarth might feel a little bit slighted that you didn't talk to him about it?
He was
more
pretty
or less,
mad.
More or less the fact that you didn't tell him what was going on, and more or less, and not so much that Chandrell gave you the orders. So he might have felt like you were kind of jumping the fence a little bit.
You went over his helmet.
I'm trying to take his job.
maybe. And remember that he's never was a fan of yours after the issues.
No one is. No one is.
I am.
Well, you think that
Eckankar.
Callie and Garrick both have shown them to have no lingering.
Kali and Garrick are good friends of mine, but not a lot of rest of them. So it's hard to know.
Yeah, the town
You're
is
still a hero of Fandle, and that's a pretty exclusive club.
Yeah. Okay. So the rest of you have you kind of like spend the
Reconvening over here in this little group. Hemo, what are you up to? Are you staying there? Are you coming over here?
Hemo, when the crowd disperses, will return to his school and pocket all of his belongings, anything, assuming that he may have to flee town.
All right, you're heading
depending on
back
what
to
happens tonight.
You're heading back to the school, right? You're heading back to the school, is
You
that right?
leave?
I just asked you to look after my kid.
All right, let's.
Hemo doesn't know what's going to happen here.
All right, so there's a series of things. Depending on what you do, you can run into things that happen while you're waiting for the election to be announced. So, as you go to your school, you can see that Folheimer's kind of walked back with you during this time when you guys were having a conversation. He had placed looked like he put
we should all put
tallies in.
our vote in.
You don't have to. You can just
I'm definitely going to vote for.
Probably,
Yeah, we're all
Big
abstaining.
Duvessa.
Oh, is it,
Oh, yeah, were the votes
vote
open?
Shane?
Yeah,
Definitely.
we're all over 18.
Yeah. All right.
How many times can we vote
Just once.
per person?
What's that? Or I guess per illusion. I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going
I'm
to say, I'll
gonna-
break up
I'm
my
gonna
disguise
put it
skin.
Mirror image, anyone?
I'm gonna put in 300 mail-in ballots.
For which one though? Which candidate?
Yeah. You've never voted here. You don't know how it really goes. All you know is you can go and place your vote.
Yeah.
All right.
I do not live here.
Yeah. You.
Why would
Well.
I vote?
Yeah.
You.
Hemo goes and
Like
votes
Llyr.
for Darathra Chandrel.
You just have to have property in here. So that technically, I guess that would be Hemo's property. You're just sort of living here.
Yeah.
All right.
He lets me rent.
So
Rent to own.
as you walk back, you can see Folhammer walking up toward his home. When he does, a gnome walks out.
Kill the gnome.
And you see he seems that the gnome seems to be agitated, and Folhammer says something to him and kind of grabs his shoulder and nods, like trying to commiserate with him. And
His name was
the gnome is sort of points back toward town and then points north. And as they're talking, is there anything you want to do about this gnome or not? It's up to you.
Hemo just goes, "Hail there! Did you take on a assistant, Fohammer?"
Folhammer looks back, getting a good feeling about you. He weighs you over.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't we save his life?
Probably a couple times.
He says to you, he says,
Oh, Fohammers. Yeah. We
What is it, you old dwarf? You fancy another drink?
says, nah, this gnome, he's a friend of mine from Yartar. I told him to go speak to the Lord Protector, but he fears that the Lord Protector might be compromised. Apparently, Yartar is under some difficulty.
Difficulty in Yartar? You weren't able to speak with Chandrel? Well, she is busy with the election and all today, but
Well, the gnome looks up at you, and he's a small, slender gnome. He has a long sideburns, kind of that flare out. They kind of wrap around a mustache a little bit. Kind of looks very gnomish, with his hair kind of frayed out a little bit, and big pointed ears. And he says, "You listen to me, my friend. I do not trust at all these people in these biggins who wander through. Now, your friend, my friend Fohammer here, says that you are a stand-up gent. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Copper Chim Flaskbuster.
Classic.
Copper Flask Chin
Copper
Buster?
Chin Flaskbuster.
Thank
So
you.
easy to say. Come on.
Yes. I'm a mason, and I come from Yartar, but that place has been put under rule. The leadership there has locked down the city. People there are as much prisoners as they are being secured behind the walls. It was only my knowledge, my intimate knowledge of the actual walls that allowed me to escape. Me being a master mason myself, I know all the secret ins and outs of Yartar.
You escaped? Yartar is under martial law now? This is all quite a lot. So are you here are you here as a are you seeking refuge here?
Oh, not in this little nowhere land, my friend. I am heading to Longsaddle. I must find my brother, Slipknickers.
Slipknickers Flask Buster?
You know him?
No, I've only met a few from Long Saddle.
There's not very many Flaskbusters this far north. We are normally in the forest to the south, but my brother is in Longsaddle right now doing some work.
What kind of work does he do?
He also is a mason. Our entire family is masons. We're a mason family.
I see. Not investigating for banks. He doesn't work for the banks in Longsaddle?
The banks? No. But of course, sometimes we do work for the banks, depending on what they want built. You want it built and you have the coin, we can do it.
Well, I suppose I have not met your brother then.
Well, it's unfortunate, but he is an extraordinary gentleman. Someday when you're on Logsaddle, you should look us up. But for now, I'm just passing through. But Fohammer here, I've known Fohammer for years. How long have we gone back, Fohammer? And you can see Fohammer goes, it has been a long time. Yes, probably 2 or 3 chins ago. He says, looking up at the more rotund Fohammer, and Fohammer goes, true.
Hemo goes, well, you picked a strange day to come through our town, Mr. Flaskbuster. Are you planning on leaving tonight, or?
I'm trying to make my way out as soon as I can. However, I'm hoping to at least stay the night here. In the morning, I will make my way north. I need to acquire a pony. My cracks that I seek my way through the walls out of Yartar were not large enough to take a pony.
No, typically those aren't large enough to sneak through.
I've been walking well over a 10-day to get here. I could also use a new pair of boots. But it seems that almost everything is closed today due to this election that's happening.
Yes. Oh, happy St. Oswin's Day, Fohammer.
Yes. I was gonna spend a good part of the afternoon drinking, but perhaps with Flaskbuster here, we might not have. It's nonsense, Copperchin says. Of course, we'll spend the evening with some drink. Now, but I won't be drinking that beer or ale you are drinking. I am a whiskey man. And the dwarf goes, yes.
Yes, if the whiskey caravans made it through today.
Yes, I hear that caravans. I hear not many have left Yartar ever since they've closed the walls there. They are not letting anyone in or out.
Hemo goes, well, if we are in Yartar, I hope we are able to be of some help. But I run a school up the hill. I must gather some things. It's going to be an interesting evening. I would suggest if you are drinking tonight, gentlemen, I suggest you stay indoors. It might get a little crazy out there tonight.
And when you say that, the gnome looks back at the dwarf and goes, "See, I told you not to trust anyone in this town. This strange wayward place in between two well-placed and well maintained towns is a place for chaos." And then the dwarf goes, "Don't worry, you'll be safe here with me. Besides, Hemo and his friends are here, and they've maintained order here a few times." And he looks back as you're kind of making your way over, and Copperchin says, "Well, he is an elf, and I'll give him that much."
I think Hemo leaves Fohammer with a dead serious look, and says, "Tribor needs you, the Fohammer, as a smith, not as well. You're very important to the city. Just remember that."
I will. Thank you, friend. And if you choose to tip a few cups, come by. I'll be burning an extra hot fire next in the forge, and we're gonna put our feet up and enjoy the evening. I have not got a chance to catch up with my friend Copperchin in some time.
Hemo goes, another evening, a less busy time.
Yes. Thank you, my friend. And Copperchin says, And thank you very much. I have been very pleased to meet you, my friend.
You as well. And Hemo will turn and walk hurriedly up to gather anything he might need.
All right. The rest of you are amongst the town. Is there anything else specifically you're going to do in town for the next 2 hours? What would you like to do?
I would like to find the coordinators of this banquet and see if I can get a gig playing the banquet.
All right. Right. You are able to meet up. The coordinators of the banquet actually are some of the militia members. They have a very loose connection to some of the people within town, and so they have you can see just to the east of the tower, they have a few tents set up. They're open-sided tents, and there's tables there, and they're having a massive cookout. As you get near there, you can smell it. They're cooking boar, they're cooking pig. It's a pig roast, is what, because it's tribor, and you can hear as you get near there, they're chit-chatting amongst themselves, and you see that there's one or two musicians that you've seen around town. In fact, one of the musicians that you saw in the tavern earlier, they're sitting around talking, looking like they probably will be playing later. You can go up and you can give me a persuasion roll if you'd like to see if you can get yourself on the list to perform.
Use your instruments. Give yourself advantage. Give yourself bardic inspiration. You can do it. I can do this.
Yeah.
I got this.
Go ahead and give me a roll. Give me
performance rather than persuasion.
What's that? You want to give me a performance? Go ahead, give me a performance.
I was going to say, can I
Performs as well.
performance?
Yeah, you can give me a
persuade
performance.
just
Tell you
as well.
what. Yeah. Well,
Exactly just as well.
Exactly the same.
Exactly.
As they speak to you, as you walk up and talk to them, one of them's like he says, one of the organizers, he has a loose leaf set of just a loose bunch of papers, and he's fumbling through them, and he's like now we cannot forget that we need all the tables lined. A friend. Flander O'Donnell, good sir.
The same.
I heard you were in town. It's a shame you couldn't play today. I don't have you on my list. I would really love to have you perform, but are you at one of the guest tables? You're a little early, though. Nothing's kicking off here to this evening.
Well, I actually did come around to see if there was room on your agenda for me to play.
He looks over at one of the musicians and says, "You're fired."
Nice.
The musician goes,
Flander pull.
the musician looks at them, and he looks over at you and he goes, like accepting his fate that he probably could not have performed as well as the great Flander O'Donnell. He says,
who could?
He tells you, he says, "Oh, that is wonderful. You can play anything you want, but some of your greats, I have heard wonderful things about what the stuff you performed when you were in the great and illustrious city of Waterdeep. I've heard some fantastic tales that you've through second and third hand, of course, and to have you perform it firsthand would be a delight to everyone, especially me."
Well, it will be my pleasure, and I do hope I live up to your expectations.
Now, but if you would, I might have some suggestions of what you could play. And he seems to kind of leans in. He starts listing off some of your some of the recent stuff you've been doing in Waterdeep. And he seems to be a fan of some of the caravans that have come in the last few months that have been retelling the tales that you've been telling.
Regionally famous, at least.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So,
Hey, I'm the savior of Dondu.
he says, "Oh, I know." He says, "Oh, and anything with just between you and me, anything with Fandolin is purely gold around here. They'll love you for that."
Well,
he says, I know that the whole white dragon thing and everything was just probably his tale, but I'll tell you this: people love it. Love it.
Well, it was a joy and a terror to live it, I'll tell you.
That's what I want to hear. Keep up the good lies. We love it. He walks up. "Oh, don't put that there." He starts running. He runs away. He says, "Be back at sunset. I'll put you on the list. You'll probably be last."
I'll see you this evening.
All right. you're able to get that. Anybody else want to do anything in town between the
So-
Yeah.
I think Eckankar wants to go up to Flander's brother, as well as the tribe or militia, and just like, just like essentially convince them to be like on our side, like let them know, like it's specifically Flander's brother, be like,
Okay.
your brother has helped me
Right.
like figure this out.
All right, before we come back to you, because you've done a few things, I'm going to give, and we'll definitely do that, but I'll give other people a chance to do things
Yeah.
first. Does anybody else want to do something before we come back to Eckankar? He's had a lot going on today, so.
Yeah.
Did you start saying
No.
something, Mike?
I was gonna try and intercept Eckankar, actually.
You can do that.
Oh.
So I'll let you do that. Anybody else? A
And then
Llyr
Llyr.
or
Yeah, I should call you Jen.
We just need to talk somewhere else about this unmasking
Exactly.
strategy. We need to.
Please, well, since the three of us are like together, we need to find Eckankar and see what was said about this the spell plague.
all right. As you
I'm also very curious about the general sentiment here.
I care not about the sentiment of this town.
I think it
The
might make a
spell plague-
difference.
The spell plague is a far larger risk.
Agreed.
It's a far larger problem than
I agree with that too.
than this little town.
However, I think that what the sentiment is currently for this vote might have a lot more bearing on the next couple hours of our lives, which would help us with dealing with the spell plague too. How about if I go investigate the crowd here and see if I can get the general mood of where it's going, and I'll meet you back over. I'll look for you. And I see.
Llyr
I
will
kinda
actually
know where-
communicate to everybody because I think I can get to everybody from right here. But I'll
Okay.
communicate to everybody like we need to wrap up and meet at Hemo's school before they finish the election results to come up with a plan.
Cool.
all right. As you are moving through the town, you want to look at the crowd.
Yeah.
Someone from the crowd walks up to you. I'm sorry. As you're walking through the crowd, Callie kind of leans over as you pass by, apparently not wanting to speak with Eckankar, maybe for a specific reason or maybe for whatever. But she catches your attention as you're walking by. She keeps scanning the crowd, but she kind of talks to you out of the side as she's looking around. She doesn't look at you directly, and she says, "Do you know the one they call Boulder Dash? Have you heard of him?
Boulder Dash.
I was told that he knew you. At least he talked about Hemo.
The name sounds familiar.
Give me a history roll, and you get advantage with this.
Alphabetically history roll.
Oh,
right.
wow.
You didn't need a whole lot though. You got enough. You just know that Boulder Dash Boulder Dash came to your school looking to buy a sword.
Yeah.
And
have him in my notes as two bolts
his
of
sword
Boulder
was
Dash.
sort of been melted.
Yeah.
And he took off to the west. He said he was heading toward Neverwood. She says, "Do you know Boulder Dash?"
Yeah. Yes. Well, I met him at least. He got a sword from Hemo's forge, and I spoke with him briefly.
Yes, he came back. He's staying at one of the inns in town, but he didn't say which one. But he reported to the Lord Protector. I see that Eckankar's wandered away. I was going to speak with him, but just to let you know that he's reported to the Lord Protector that the road west was blocked by giants and goblins riding strange birds as steeds. He came back to town.
Giants and goblins.
On birds?
Yeah. I
Giants
don't even know who
riding
said that
birds?
voice. Who's not even here, but I'm
I
saying
know,
yeah.
sorry.
But no, it's fine. But yeah, that's what he says to you. Can you let Eckankar know that I'd like to I want to let him know. I've talked to Tarth about this, but I know that his friend, the tall, lanky one, was looking for giants.
Yes, he was.
I want to
This
let
is
you
all-
know that.
Thank you. This is also somewhat ominous considering. And he stops talking for a second. He looks around again. Like, it seems very ominous.
Yeah, it does. She goes, yeah, it does. Go talk to him. She's like, I must keep an eye on the crowd.
He looks her straight in the eyes. He says,
She kind of looks past you as you look at her.
It's
like
fine.
She's watching everybody, and then you can ask her something though.
Yeah, he just says, keep Darathra safe at all costs. I don't trust the others.
Neither do I, she says as she looks around, especially that Zindra.
Ironically, I've gotten to know her over the last few days. She's all right.
Maybe you don't know her as well as I do.
Maybe you don't know her as well as you think you do.
She
She
quietly
just shrugs.
She quietly nods.
She only grew up in the town with this person.
Maybe
She didn't. She actually comes from Anorak.
Oh,
Yeah, Kali comes from Anorak. She's recently
Gently.
joined. Yeah.
So yeah, do I get any feel with the rest of the crowd as I'm
No,
investigating them with which way it's going?
As you do, I'm going to give you. Yeah, you don't really get a sense. You seem they're murmuring and talking. It seems very very mixed.
Yeah, kind of even Steven
Very
right
mixed. All right. Anybody else other before we go to Eckankar? Did Llyr? Did you want to do something?
I'm not doing anything else besides trying to
Okay,
regroup.
that's fine. All right.
Looking through my spells.
All right. Did you want to do anything? I just want to ask a question before.
well,
You are still disguised.
Yeah, I wanted to catch. I would have ideally liked to catch Eckankar with Chandrel.
All right. The Chandrel has moved on, and by the time you got to there, Kali has raced off after Chandrel.
As soon as I meet up with Ek and Llyr, I will let both of them know what I just learned about Boulder
Yeah.
Latch.
All right. As you, Eckankar, as you are, there's a lot of information being dumped a little bit
Yeah.
today. Just
Yep. There's a lot of things.
kind of giving you some preamble to some things that are coming up in the future. Llyr, you overhear someone asking in the crowd. He seems to be looking over. He goes, Has anyone seen Mr. Oakenheel? Mr. Oakenheel. It's important I speak to him.
I will relay to Hemo telepathically that there's
Hemo is
somebody
back
looking
at
for him.
Hemo went back to his school. So
He's
Yeah,
not
he
there.
was gone.
Okay.
He left. Yeah.
Hemo, did you vote?
Yeah, Hemo put in a vote for Darathra Chandrel.
all right.
He lives here. He's registered and everything.
Yep. All right.
Just so we're clear, like we can't vote.
I'll go over to this. I'll go over to this man.
Just the
and
landowner.
say, and say, did you say Hemo Oakenheel? I'm also looking for him. What is there something that you need from him?
He looks up at you. This being a shorter man. He's
He's in
wearing.
disguise.
What's
Yep,
that?
I'm still in disguise as a human right now.
Oh, you are. Okay. Thank you. He's still short, so he's still kind of looking up at you, even though you're a human. He looks up at you and he says, oh, I just have a business opportunity for him. Mr. Stockspool has pointed me in his direction. Do you know where he's at? There's a silver in it for you. He pulls out a silver coin.
I kind of get a smirk on my face and say, well, I do think he might be somewhere around his school on the other side of town.
Oh, he went back to his school. Thank you very much. It's important that I make his acquaintance as soon as possible, and I want you to give me a perception roll.
Perception or insight?
I want you to give me a perception.
Okay. Where is it? There we go. Oh,
Nope.
bad. 7.
Or high charisma people.
Wow,
This can't be
That's not
good.
charisma.
that has happened. All right. What you can see is he has some symbols, but you have no idea what they are. You maybe didn't see anything special on him, what he looks like or anything. He just looks like the everyday, normal, possible businessman. He's wearing nicer clothes, but they're rugged in the fact that they're used to travel on the road. He looks like he's been dusty, like he's been traveling a little bit.
Is he a Zent?
He has no idea. He doesn't no idea who it was. But that's what you see. Anything else you're going to do before this man seems to be taking off toward the school?
We were heading that way too, weren't we?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to find like a corner. Like I'll kind of walk back behind these carts over here, turn into a bird and fly off and try to beat the guy there.
All right, so you're gonna go out behind the
Superman's it over there, huh?
and you're gonna turn off and turn to a bird. No problem. You can see him walking, and he probably stopped. You can probably see him stopping and talking to somebody, probably getting directions. You don't think this person is native to this town? You think that the business proposition he has must be somewhat dire that he doesn't want to wait till the next day. Because this is an election
day. You got
day.
a big event and festival going on,
Yeah.
As you
fly over, is it so important?
As you fly over, you can also see. Yeah, as you fly over, you can also see that the tents are there. The food, you can see the big smoke pits where they're cooking the pig. You can smell it. They have these long. They're gonna feed
long pork.
Oh no.
What's that?
Uh-oh.
Long tables. They're gonna feed a bunch of people today.
The loser of the election actually gets cooked.
Yeah. All right, and so you fly and you can land at the school. You can stay as a bird or whatever you'd like to do. You want to try to do Morse code?
I mean, once I get close enough, I'll do my telepathy.
Are you a thrust? When a thrust click knocks twice?
A thrust, yeah.
All right, yeah, you can telepath. What do you want to telepathically tell him?
I'll just tell Hemo that you have business visitors on their way.
Also, I want you to give me
swiftly.
I want you to give me another.
Hemo's looking through a stack of knives, and he goes, "Business." Tries to select one.
I want you one more thing, Llyr. I want you to give me perception because you were flying. So I want you to give me a perception roll, Llyr.
Let's get a better one this time. That was performance. How about perception? Still not great. 10.
Yeah, you don't see anything else. You're a bird and you're flying, but you're probably more determined to get to the
worm.
All right. So the people are still milling about. They're talking. They're more, as they place their votes. They kind of see there's like a bit of ease. They starting to slowly head over toward where all the food will be out later on today. They're kind of milling about and talking. Not a lot to do in town until then, but they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait the time. As you move, Eckankar finally breaks away. And he says, Garrig comes up and he says, Eckankar, Tarth was, I apologize for Tarth being a little bit uneasy. You see that one of our soldiers, Tim Thor's, he discovered the remains of a fire giant's camp about 2 hours northeast of Tribor. Tarth was looking for you to go check it out, but we sent out another force instead when he couldn't find you. The camp was abandoned but fresh. Looks like the giants were moving about the briars, but at some point they sort of just broke off the briars and left. We're not sure what that's all about, but I think Tarth was looking for you about it, and I think that's why he might have been a little upset that you weren't around.
Yes, no, the Lord Commander, Duratha, she put me on a mission, and it did consume a lot of my time.
Clearly to great value, he says, when he referring to the fact that you had shown him the ledger.
Yes.
Tomorrow, assuming everything goes smoothly tonight, tomorrow we should deal with this situation with the ledger.
Yes, there's more at foot than just this ledger.
Inside check.
I'm just...
Like what? He says, you're not telling me something.
I told him a lot of.
Are you up on the stage right now? Or are you by us?
We'll just say you're kind of out.
I mean, we're kind of like yeah. I trust him a lot. Like he's my guy. He's my guy.
Yep.
And the last guy you trusted a lot too.
Yeah, the last one was wearing a mask, wasn't he?
How dare you? Once again, how dare you?
You can always just go like reach up and be like,
Hey, let me see.
Can I-
One was a colleague. This
now
is your
let me.
CO.
Can I grab your face?
The
real
Scooby Doo ending. If anybody knows that reference
all right,
from Wayne's World, then you're old like us. All right.
All right. No, he's just like.
Did any of you take cash? Okay. What do you want? What do you want?
No.
oh,
What do you want to say to him?
You are my friend, and I do trust you, but there seems to be some sort of not shapeshift. Someone is wearing Duvessa's face. And he'll just tell him. He'll tell him.
Come out of like left field.
He's just gonna tell him.
He processes it for a moment. And he looks out to the crowd, and he seems like he seems like he has a stoic look about him. Garrick always has this kind of like never changing chiseled face. He looks around, and he looks back at you, and he says, "That's a statement that can get us all in a lot of trouble should the election not go the way that you think it should go." Do you think that this is some sort of doppelganger?
No, not a doppelganger. And he is. It is an imposter. Someone is wearing Duvessa's face.
Yes, like
Now.
a doppelganger, right?
Am I in the area?
Yeah, you can be nearby if you want. I'm probably.
So I was looking for him.
Yeah, you can come walking up.
Yeah.
You can. Garrick looks over at you. Kind of looks over at you. You get the sense that it's a mix of appeal and but at the same time a little bit of a uneasiness as he sees the woman approach. Like he doesn't.
he's on duty at the time, you know.
Not
You
just
be getting into his business like that.
Not just that, but he doesn't. I don't think he might not appreciate someone working the crowd during an election.
Yes, yeah,
but he's gonna try to stay professional. You know,
Yeah.
and you haven't done anything wrong.
Look at Eckankar. Do you trust him? Not hiding the voice at all.
Okay.
Oh, so you're standing next to me as a lady saying in Jeru's voice, "Do you trust him?"
It's actually her
Jen's.
voice.
She
is
sounds
her
like
voice?
she sounds like Jen.
Yeah, she sounds just like Jen. It's not.
I'll look at Jeru and like, yes, I trust him with my life.
Take the face off.
All right, you peel off. You see, for the first time, you see Garrick. Even during the time when he ran into the woods to rescue you in the evening when you had fought all those fire creatures. You've seen him face against many things. He's been unflinching until now. He does this. He goes. He just kind of looks like his eyes go wide, and for a moment he sees like he's looking at like a ghost.
His heart skips a beat.
And he just kind of stops and he just kind of tries to gather himself. And he's like, and he sees Jeru appear as you pull the face off, and he's
I
like,
do have that effect sometimes.
he's like, he steps forward. You see, he's interested in looking at the mask, but
I held it out to him.
yeah, he doesn't touch it. He looks forward and he says, "You crafted this?"
No,
Now he sounds different.
no. It is the face, similar to the face that Duvessa, the fake Duvessa, is wearing.
And I'll just like echo with like everything. He'll look at Jeru, who's a trusted friend of mine. Anything he says, you can take as if I would have said it.
Oh damn.
He says,
Dangerous blank check.
I trust you.
he says, and all I need you to do is give me a persuasion roll with advantage.
All right.
I'm just basically backing up your argument.
He got his eyebrows.
All right.
22.
Nice. He says, well, who is it then?
It is we believe, it is an outside mercenary, one that wears the faces. I don't believe it is a doppelganger. Doppelgangers don't need such things.
No, I'm well aware of doppelgangers. I've actually faced one or two of them in my time.
I don't know really who would do that. I know hags are often playing with faces and things, and
Like the three women with the pot hags.
no, the larvae dealer in the abyss.
He's unflinching. He looks at you
What?
as you say that. He looks down and he says, well,
They are extraplanar creatures. They don't normally do this unless they're harvesting souls, but this does not seem like that. So I do not know who it is or what.
well, once the election is announced, what would happen if she won? He's kind of processing this, and he kind of believes you. You think he believes what you're saying, and he says, "All right, well, let's just see what happens when the election is announced."
It is far more serious than that.
Yes.
You are aware of the spell plague, yes.
I mean,
Oh shit.
from a while, from
Dropping all the info.
even as a child, that was old. That was the sundering though. That had happened a while ago. The rumor was that the lands broke apart,
Yes.
floating. You know that there's apparently over the high forest there's still a floating mountain that floats in the sky above the forest.
Yes. They are seeking, someone is seeking to release another. That's how serious this is. This is not your town. This is not your little world. This is a multiplanar threat that will affect millions upon millions of people. She must not be allowed to obtain whatever it is under the tower.
What's under the tower?
I do not know, or I would say it.
Yeah, like.
He looks
You
over
said
at
you
you.
trusted him.
Hmm.
Derek looks over at you and he says,
You said you trusted him.
"What's under the tower, Eckankar?"
We're not sure what is under the tower, but whatever it is, it cannot come into the hands of whatever is this fake Duvessa-Shane. And he makes fake, you know.
Well, I'm gonna walk up around this point too, just catching what you guys are talking about.
All right.
Eckankar, sorry to interrupt.
Did you not trust him? Do we need to eliminate him?
No,
looks-
let's
looks over
set
at
up a
you.
nuke.
He looks over at you like I don't know who your friend is, but I'm asking you. You think that this that there's something under the tower and you don't know what it is?
I can tell you,
Is it dangerous?
I don't want to
he's-
hide.
he's talking-
Tarth.
He walks up and he goes, he's talking about some problems with the spell plague, this thing that happened 100 and something years ago that
Seems
caused
like
all
history.
kinds of cataclysmic events. And he's talking about this happening to something that's happening underneath the tower.
I think Ek gets mad and he kind of slams his hand and he's like, this is of supreme importance. Whatever this is, I don't know what it is. It cannot get into the hands of whoever this fake Duvessa-Shane is.
You need to speak to your Shanzhou.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. I just heard word that there is
Pig
appears to be
over here?
giants and goblins on birds blocking the road to the west. I'm starting to get worried that there's that we might be blockaded I'm curious if there's any more, if you heard any news about this or not.
I mean, exactly the same information that you had when we encountered that family.
That was from the south,
Hmm.
right? The long road is from the south.
The long road to the south, yeah.
So it's south and west. We've
So
had
the
reports
west as well. So
of caravans and
they're
black kids.
circling us.
Yeah. Is there word from the north or the east?
East would be Yartar.
I'm investigating
Yeah.
right now. Have you heard? Has anybody heard word from north or east? I'm even asking the guard too, because
I guess
he's there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Garrett
like
is sitting there,
Tarth.
and he says, he says, yes, there was we know that to the northeast there was sightings of giants, fire giants.
That's 3 of the 4 cardinal directions.
I want you to roll me an
They seem
investigation
to be
roll.
congregating here.
Yeah, this is disconcerting at the least. Got 25.
All right, as
Seems
you
like an
consider
army
all
is
the,
coming.
you consider the fact that there's been reports of giants to the northeast. To Yartar to the east is locked down. To the south, there's these caravans that have been being overrun, and now you hear this information about stuff that's happening to the west. But the biggest thing that comes to your mind as you're discussing this is that it has been too long since you've seen Zindra. And we'll end there.
Oh fuck!
Oh
God,
my
no,
God.
no,
We
no!
lost track of Zindra.
That'll work.
We should have like shackled ourselves to her or something.
Yeah, we knew she was a rogue. Like she's gonna do something crazy.
She was a flight risk.
Yep.
Boy, she's right there.
Loose cannon.
That's where we think she is.
Drew, she's your best friend.
We left her with you.
Nobody kept track of her. And so now, we're gonna find out.
Shit.
We're gonna find out in
Too
2
many
weeks.
moving parts here, man.
Boy.
We're gonna find
I
out in 2
love it.
weeks what we're gonna find out what happened in 2 weeks with the election, and we're gonna find
Yeah.
out if it makes it to the election before the proverbial Zindra hits the fan.
Oh boy.
No.
I want to know if Alan has like a conspiracy web, like whiteboard somewhere with all the red strings.
Oh no! Like in that one white door behind there, he has a whole board. We know
Right.
it.
Red lines.
Red lines everywhere.
We might have a name.
All right. Well, did you guys have
just
fun
circled
tonight?
a bunch.
Oh, it was a great episode.
Yeah, that was a cool episode.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're
Oh,
gonna
that
find
was
out in
fun.
2 weeks what happens because I was just like, nobody's keeping track of her. That's funny. All right. Well, we're gonna find out. We have who wins the election and all that kind of stuff in 2 weeks.
Oh,
We'll
boy.
see everybody then. Thanks. Have a good night.
Bye for now.
Later.